morning, everybody. Welcome to Maidenhead Rugby Club in the sunny Thames Valley here in the heart of England for the 2019 European Touch Club Championships. Over the course of the next 2 days, we're going to be packing your screens with some of the best club sides from Europe who are going to be playing in a whole series of matches. We'll find out a bit more about that in a second, but just to give you a brief summary of what's coming up, we've got today alone we've got 15 matches, each of which is 24 minutes long with a little bit of a half-time interval, featuring 18 teams from 11 nations. And to tell me about the tournament is Ben Powell, who's the president of Touch Europe. Ben, welcome to sunny Maidenhead.
Yeah, thanks Chris, and on behalf of the EFT and all the countries here today, thanks to the ETA, the England Touch Association, for hosting us in what promises to be an exciting weekend.
This is the first club championships that you've run, the European Club Championships. Why are you introducing this tournament now?
Look, Europe has a really long and rich history of club competition. In many ways, that's how Touch started in Europe, particularly under the mixed banner. So what we wanted to do was formalise that standard of competition and bring the clubs together outside of an international arena and bring those clubs together for a championship where we'll crown a European club champ after 2 days of competition.
Some of these clubs are going to be pretty familiar with each other, though. There's been tournaments in Paris and Amsterdam and Berlin and all over Europe already. So what makes this one different?
Yeah, look, there's an unofficial, if you like, and there are a few major competitions that lots of teams attend on a regular basis. You named a few just there with GIF and Berlin and Amsterdam. I think what makes this special is that we're just formalising that, really, to sort of say, well, what we want to do is bring the best countries together. So one, that standardises the standard of competition, and two, it allows the EFT to recognise those clubs who do travel all out Europe and who are consistent contenders in their own national touch series as well.
We've got teams from as far afield as Scotland and Portugal here this weekend. Who to look out for?
Look, plenty of teams. It's really hard to call, given that there are some countries who have got clubs here who we won't have seen before, and others that are regulars on the screen as well. BBR would have to be the pre-tournament favourites, given what they've done over the last couple of years in club competition. Back-to-back NTS champions here in England. They've also recently won GIF a number of times. This year they're unfortunate and they didn't, but they're going to be a very, very strong outfit. We've got Six Pack and Buffaloes from Scotland. They're littered with Scotland mixed open players who are fresh off their bronze medal achievement at the recent Touch World Cup, which is uncharted territory for a European NTA. The rest of the English teams, we've got Cambridge Hornets, which is the team I'll be running with today. We've got a very young outfit out and playing some consistent touch this year, which would be good. London Eagles, another team to watch out for. We've got CDR Hurricanes just behind us, warming up, representing that French banner as well. And then Berlin. Berlin are fresh off winning their own tournament, the Capital Cup, this year, so they'll fancy themselves as well.
Thanks for your time, Ben. We'll be coming up with BBR against Hurricanes here on Field 1 just behind me, and you can keep up to date with all 4 fields of competition via the England Touch website and across social media channels as well on Touch Europe. We'll be hearing from players and coaches and no doubt Ben a couple more times during the course of the weekend. But if this is the first time that you've been watching Touch, here's a little summary of what the game is all about.
Touch is a minimum contact sport where the aim is to score more touchdowns than your opposition. Touch team is made up of 6 players on the pitch with up to 8 substitutions. Those 8 substitutions can roll on the pitch at any time. Touch can be made of mixed teams or single gender teams. In a mixed team, there is a minimum of 1 man and a maximum of 3 men on the pitch at any one time. At an international level, touch games are made up of 2 20-minute halves.
Half time, girls.
But at all levels, you can have varying different half lengths and periods of time.
Well, a very good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to live coverage here of the European Touch Club Championships 2019. It's set to be a fantastic weekend here at Maidenhead Rugby Football Club. And we have got 14 games for you throughout the day to get your teeth into. My name is Bradley Hope and I'll be guiding you through the action throughout the day. And this one, well, we have got sides from all over Europe. Germany, France, Portugal, the Netherlands and Spain all represented here today in Maidenhead. And our first game of the day will see Bareback Riders, otherwise known as BBR, taking on CDR Hurricanes from France and from Paris in particular. As we just have a flick through the different groups, there are 3 groups in total, 18 sides this weekend competing in the Champions League equivalent of touch rugby. It's set to be a fantastic weekend of touch here in Maidenhead. Of course, we had the Belief Elite National Touch Series, which was covered on England Touch Rugby, and this weekend we'll be having live coverage across the BBC Sport Online. So 2 platforms to watch this weekend's Touch Rugby. So just like I said, 18 sides competing then this weekend. Our first game, BBR taking on Hurricanes of Paris. Both sides have plenty of experience. BBR, they were the Belief Elite National Touch Series overall winners, a fantastic side full of fantastic talent. Looking at their side, likes of Clark Hobson, Hannah Crisp, Mark Knight, Gareth Revel, all in the side this weekend. And of course, our first look at Hurricanes as well. Lots of experience in the French Open sides and the French women's, of course, as well. The likes of Christelle Jolan and Christian Schiem, both French Men Open players, and Anne Blanc-Bossier, the French Women's Open player, along with Hugo Barat as well, a French Men Open player as well. So plenty of experience in both sides. It's set to be a fascinating opening game here in Maidenhead. Kickoff is around about, tap-off I should say, is around about 5 minutes away from our first game. So just a quick run through of the timings. So 12 minutes per half, and then we'll have a 3-minute break in between games. So they'll be coming quick and fire throughout the day, and plenty to get your teeth into. BBR taking on Hurricanes, England taking on France in our first game of the day. It's set to be a fantastic opening game for the weekend. Both sides, of course, packed full of experience and skill. So we'll be back with you in a couple of moments' time for tap-off in our first game of the weekend. BBR taking on Hurricanes. Tap-off in around 5 minutes' time. So only a couple of moments away from our first game of the weekend here in Maidenhead. BBR taking on Hurricanes. And we are all set for what is going to be a fascinating European Touch Club Championships. BBR of England, Hurricanes of France will be our first game of the weekend. BBR in red, Hurricanes in blue. 12 minutes a half. And we're all but set and ready to go. And there is that infamous hooter, and away we go. Hurricanes get the tap off from the start and will mount the first attack of the weekend, looking to drive through the middle. Hurricanes, one of the finest teams around Europe, and BBR coming into this weekend as one of the favourites for the competition. So this should be an excellent matchup and should be a great start to the weekend. Here's Gareth Revel, the Welsh Open international, looking to come forward and laying off to Hannah Crisp, and she now comes off, and we see over the 10-metre mark BBR coming forward, looking to try and drive on. Can they get over the goal line? Can they get that first score of the weekend? Looking to go wide and just couldn't be picked up in time. It was Katie San Juan who's just on the wing there. Hurricanes will have the chance to start from their own goal line. Themselves looking to push forward. Interesting to see the dynamic and the differences in tactics and play with these European sides. Seen a lot, of course, of the Belief Elite National Touch Series on the England Rugby Touch Rugby channel, and it'd be interesting to see how these European sides get on. Bazzani now looking to drive forward, looks to go right, is stopped in his tracks, and it's good defensive work from BBR on this occasion. And driving on towards their own 10-metre line, looking to rub a sub move to get some fresh faces on. Of course, unlimited rolling subs in touch rugby. A poor pass and a turnover for Hurricanes inside the BBR half. And glad to say I'm joined by Chris Wehrmouth for this first one. Chris, well, this should be a fascinating weekend. So 18 teams all across Europe competing for this one this weekend, and a fascinating first game up.
Yeah, as we said in the introduction with Ben Powell, is that a lot of these teams will have played against each other at a European tournament at one of several venues across the continent. But this is the first time that we've had such a tournament here in the UK, and certainly under the auspices of EFT and of course us at England Touch. Really looking forward to seeing this one. You know, BBR have been the standout mixed team of the past couple of years here in the Belief Elite National Touch Series in England. They were the overall champions earlier on this year, although they didn't win the last cup. They're going to be playing Hot Custard later on in a rematch of a semi-final in Oxford we had. And but Hurricanes, you know, we're seeing a really good amount of pace, but just mistaking the pitch markings aren't as necessarily as clear on the TV as we would like, but that just overran the dead ball line there, so it was a turnover for BBR and a lucky escape for them. The BBR team's got a combination of lots of Scottish young players and slightly older English and Welsh players in it. So Gareth Revel is one of the ageing masters of touch here in the UK, and then you've got the likes of Ali Hogg as well, who's the number 28. She's currently in the sub box. You know, she's one of the more experienced England players, and then you've got a couple of young Scottish players in the middles as well.
Yeah, plenty of experience across the board in this BBR side, and we still remain scoreless at the moment. Hurricanes with the best opportunity so far. See for BBR in your picture, number 22, Mark Knight is there, Hannah Crisp as well. Along with James Tweedy, the youngest in this BBR side this weekend. Hurricanes looking to try and build from the back, and they work their way over to halfway, looking to get some fresh legs on as they cross halfway now. Bazzani now looking to arc his run through the middle. Over the 10-metre mark they go. Nice build-up play from Hurricanes of France. Can they finish it off? And referee judging James Tweedy, stopping that final pass from going through, and Hurricanes will now have a good opportunity.
What we saw there from Hurricanes is their subs just getting on, as you said earlier on, it's unlimited subs, and we saw them just getting on and attacking the same channel, the same area at pace, just the same player time and time again, and that's exactly what they were hoping for with that, was to get the offside if they don't get the score itself. So fantastic attacking and really, really pacey. Perfect conditions for it here in Maidenhead. Low 20s, it's clear overhead. It's an artificial pitch we're playing on, so it's absolutely fantastic underfoot as well. And we've just seen that come into play with exactly how the Hurricanes attacked.
Yeah, if you've been following the Our Belief Elite National Touch Series coverage, you'd have seen the mixed fortunes of the weather we've had in Manchester.
Oh yeah, I was just going to say Manchester was definitely one for the ages.
It certainly was. And then in Oxford, of course, we had a basking sunshine as well. So we really had a mixed fortunes of weather over those weekends here in the UK. And here come Hurricanes in the middle now. Raimondi in a central position. And now comes Hugo Barat, the number 9 for Hurricanes. French men's open international player, looks to go out wide, some space, and just couldn't be picked up as the ball dipped. And look at BBR go now over on that far side, looking to try and drive themselves up over the 10-metre mark. Get some fresh faces on. That was James Tweedy making up the good yards. Now into a more central position. Here's Gareth Revel. I think he must sleep in that red cap, Gareth Revel. He always sporting that one. Looking to come forward over the 5-metre mark they go, looking to go right and out to the wing, and just couldn't be held on. It was Katie Sanjuan over on that far side, just couldn't be picked up, but a good opportunity here still for BBR with just over 5 minutes to go. Yeah,
they've got another set of 6 there for another penalty. So BBR having the same kind of approach as Hurricanes, just not as quick coming up through the middle in terms of just getting there. But what you'll see with BBR trying to do, I mean, Gareth's just gone for a dive there, a little bit laboured, but what they will try to do quite quickly is to get the ball out to the wingers. And you can see there the Hurricanes wingers already knowing that they have to defend the BBR wingers, because their catching percentage is very, very high. So what that means is that, you know, when you've got a player like Gareth who can fling it 20-30 metres, is that as we're seeing him wind up now, there we go. So that's gone wide, but it's gone to ground. But you can see what BBR are trying to do there. They're trying to force Hurricanes to defend wide, to create space for the young Scots players in particular to come through the middle.
Yeah, it's Pearl Kelly just on this left-hand side, just the pass just in front of her, couldn't cling on. And Hurricanes now can start from their own 5-metre and looking to come forward. Are they going to run another sub move to get some fresh legs on, driving over their 5-metre, doing well. But good pressure from BBR, bit of space now to come through the centre, and good yards made up. There's Bazzani now looking to go right. He does go right, and over the 5-metre mark they go. Oh, just losing his footing, but just gets it up in time. But good defensive work. That was Michael on the line, and just losing his footing there slightly. It was Bazzani, number 45 for Hurricanes, just at the critical moment. And here come BBR. Good support in the stands, you'll see throughout the weekend. 4 pitches in total here at Maidenhead in action over the weekend. We'll try and keep you up to date with all the scores as and when they happen. Just losing control of the ball there on the 10-metre, so turnover Hurricanes.
Yeah, that's one of those, I'm not going to say subtle rules, but it's one of those quite important rules within touch, is that the ball can't roll more than a metre. So as soon as it goes, then it's a turnover, as you say, for a bit of loss of control. But what you'll see from both teams is, especially when they're attacking at pace, if you're are just starting to play touch at home, is to watch for how both teams are placing the ball at the play the ball. So they're not rolling it back, they're placing and stepping over, which gives a nice solid non-moving target for the half to come in and pick the ball up, whether that's to get the ball up to pass to a supporting player or to come and scoop and to run out. So I think it's one of the things that I mean, I know this is the first game of the weekend, so I think we're seeing the teams kind of just get to grips, both in terms of how each other are playing, how their teammates are playing, because I know that some of the BBR team flew down from Scotland this morning. Hannah Crisp was on a flight down at 6 o'clock this morning, for example, and obviously with the pitch dimensions, just getting used to the markings as the game wears on, and we'll see that over the course of the weekend. Everything will start. Everybody will start clicking into gear, which is something that we've seen through the season so far.
So 2 minutes left remaining until the half-time break, and our opening game still remains scoreless. And this first game of the weekend, it's tight at the moment, looking to go wide, and just not there on that occasion. Just almost went ahead of herself over on that far side. It was Christelle Jolin, and but still, Hurricanes now with a really good opportunity in the minute and a half to try and get this first score on the board. It could prove pivotal, as we've talked about in the Belief Elite National Touch Series. Many players think this period just before and after the break is the critical time of the game. Can they try and force their way through? Pisani, Mark Knight just coming forward, trying to stop any attack, trying to nullify anything coming through. Pisani, just a bit of a mix-up there. Pisani just gets it back, though, looking to drive through. And he does get through, does he? Yes, referee gives it, and that is the first touch of the game and the weekend. Hurricanes get on the scoreboard. It was Cyril Pisani, the Frenchman Open player, who just worked his way through. He's been lively so far in this first half, and that, in the end, was quite a nice, well-worked individual score.
It was. What we've seen from Hurricanes so far is a lot of attacking speed through the middle. What we've seen there is lots of patience in and around the 5 metre area. So they weren't trying to force it with the first touch there, but they just worked themselves, weren't patient, as BBR concede a penalty for overstepping the mark. That's the other important thing of the play the ball, is that you have to play the ball from where you get touched. You can't go a couple of metres past. That's what Gareth Revel did just then. But it was very, very slow. And then all of a sudden he identified the mismatch, a little bit of space. BBR just not defending up as a unit in that situation, and taking great advantage of it on the outside link position.
And there goes the hooter. Of course, we'll have one final touch. This is the final phase of play. Skipping, hopping about. And he does finally get the touch. He was bouncing around. And the end of this first half comes to an end. Now, our first game of the weekend. It's been a low-scoring affair, as you can see on the scoreboard, as the Hurricanes lead by 1-0. So that is the score at half-time in our first game of the weekend in this European Touch Club Championships 2019 here in Maidenhead. It's BBR 0, Hurricanes 1.
So the touch is the equivalent of a tackle in rugby union or rugby league. In touch, we get 6 of them to try and score a touchdown. Scoring a touchdown, you have those 6 touches, and the defence are trying to make all 6 to prevent you from scoring. You can also touch clothing, boots, legs, wherever, in order to create that touch. You can have such thing as a hard tackle or a hard touch, which is where you put too much force into the touch. A heavy touch can be made by the attacker or the defender as well. The attacker putting too much force on the initiated touch, or the defender putting too much force into the push of the touch. An attacker can either initiate the touch to stop the defence from making it, or the defence can make the touch themselves. The attacker can make the touch to make a better roll ball and to keep the momentum in the attack.
So here we go, second half then of our opening game of the weekend here in Maidenhead. BBR taking on Hurricanes, and BBR will get the tap off in the second half and looking to try and make early inroads and trying to get back into this one. Eddie Sanjuan through the middle alongside Finlay Lockhart, and Finlay Lockhart goes over, and what a start to this second half. BBR straight on the front foot and get back to level terms. Eddie Sanjuan with James Tweedy, and there was Finlay Lockhart. Part of the original setup of BBR, Finlay Lockhart. And back to one apiece. And how can the Hurricanes respond? Are we going to see an instant reply straight away? Christian Sheem is in the middle there for Hurricanes, yellow boots on, looking to drive forward and opts to go left on, just couldn't be picked up. Elizabeth Tronomov, a former university rugby player, now playing touch rugby for the Hurricanes of Paris. And Gareth Revel now heading towards halfway, back into the centre. Miriam Evans over the 10-metre mark they go. This is lovely play. Finlay Lockhart looking to go wide. Oh, just couldn't be picked up. Papas there on the wing. And Hurricanes now turn over possession. 2 minutes into this second half, and it's been lively to say the least. And looking to drive towards halfway. Nearly slipping over there, but just manages to regain his composure. Pisani. And now over the halfway line they come. Nice work, looking to go right. Raimondi is involved. Oh, this is lovely from Hurricanes. But equally brilliant defence from BBR, getting spread across the line and nullifying any attack on that far side. But fantastic start to the second half. BBR scoring inside the opening 20 seconds of the second half, Chris.
Yeah, it's one thing you said just before half-time was that scoring at the end of the first half was important, and scoring at the second half, at the start of the second half, is important as well. And as it turned out, you know, Hurricanes and BBR have just nullified each other in the space of probably 90 seconds of actual play, separated, of course, by half-time. And BBR, you know, now are going to try and exert themselves. You know, you can see the experience on. At this precise moment in time, and we've also had, as I say, with so Hannah Chris got the ball at the minute. Lots of Scotland caps. Gareth Revel, a huge number of Welsh caps, and for such a big guy, we saw him dive a little bit laboured in the first half. Nothing laboured about that one at all, and you know he's about 6'2", something like that, 6'1", 6'2". You know, so he's a big guy, and to get down low and to score that very well is fantastic for him.
Yeah, he looked very nimble on his feet on that occasion. Did Gareth Revel, and now from being one down, they lead by 2 points to 1. Hannah Crisp is there also. She's a fantastic player for BBR, a real key asset in this side. Hurricanes now, how can they respond after being one up at the break? Suddenly being ped back, and here was that score of their try. Pisani in the middle. He seems to be a real linchpin in this side for Hurricanes, looking to go right, but opts to go through the centre. Now they're just going to try and plough through the middle and create some space out on the sides.
Just to go back to that Gareth Revel score, is that was created because when you've as a defender, when you've made the touch, you've got to carry on going back for 5 metres in the direction from where you started, and by being able to just sidestep away from that, Gareth was able to capitalise on that having to be done. This time that score from Hurricanes is just about outright pace. So you see, that's just a fantastic bit of just show and go and step and off you go, and you know, so 2 scores through the middle. The defences are going to be absolutely seething at that, because the scores you don't want to concede are the ones through the middle.
Yeah, Lucas Fogeron for Hurricanes, French men's open player, and his father Didier Fogeron was a professional rugby union player in the France Sevens. So plenty of pedigree. And here come BBR, Gareth Revel. Can he try and do something once again? Nimble footwork. Where has this hot step suddenly come from? And BBR have another chance now on the 5 metre mark. Oh, just a slip at the critical moment. Matt the Eagle Michael for BBR, as I've got him down in my notes. And here come Hurricanes, turnover possession, 6.5 minutes then left of this second half. Who's going to, are we going to see a winner in our first game of the weekend? Just slowing things down slightly, looked a tad forward, but the referee deeming not so. Going back through the middle, this is lovely play from Hurricanes. Can a touch come in time? Still active, but it's now turnover in possession of BBR. And was that just a bit of luck potentially for BBR, or was it also good defensive work?
Combination of the above, I think. It's more luck, I think, than judgment as far as that's concerned. I think, the scramble defence, Hurricanes really should have scored from that.
And here come BBR now over the halfway line, making up some good yards. Here's a Mark Knight, fantastic turn of pace. Finley Lockhart laying it off. Here's Eddie Sanjuan, gets that touch. Here's Finley Lockhart again, looking to spread the ball out wide, and as easy as that, BBR back in front, and that all came through some fantastic work through the middle, and then leaving that space out wide, and BBR are now just over 5 minutes remaining, are back in front.
That's what we said in the first half, wasn't it? BBR like to get that ball wide, and what that's going to then do is that the next time they're in that situation, Hurricanes are going to find themselves in a proper catch-22. Do you defend the winger because you know perfectly well that you've got players in the middle who can get it wide, or do you defend through the middle and try and force them to go wide, knowing that they've got that? So what are you going to do as a defence, and especially the pace that this game's played at when they're attacking, and the speed that BBR came through the middle there? You've got to make a split-second decision, and invariably what BBR have got, and Hurricanes as well, is the ability to make it look like the wrong one.
Ball spread out wide of a looping pass back into centre, looking to try and get through was Cheam there, but turnover, and a vital turnover potentially here for BBR inside their own half. Deep inside, so they're going to have to try and make up some yards. Here's Hannah Crisp spraying it off to the left, and maybe just running a sub move here, trying to get some fresh legs on. Eddie Sanjuan just creeps over the halfway. So here Hurricanes now with a opportunity inside the BBR half. And can they make this one count? In a tight and gripping game so far. Can they try and get back to all square? Here's some fresh faces on. Hugo Barrett, blue and white cap on for Hurricanes, back inside into the middle. Ramondi. Former under-18s France mixed open captain Pierre Ramondi.
Penalty conceded from BBR for a heavy touch in that. It's one of those ones that could have been 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. Sorry, it's coming through the ruck. So just didn't see the signal from the referee on that occasion. But this time that's going to be a turnover as well for BBR this time.
Yeah, 3 minutes remaining then. BBR deep inside their own half. Can they just try and maybe get some time up and just try and work the way up the field? And here's Finley Lockhart's got a score to his name in this opening match of the weekend. Look like they're full of energy and ready to go. Again, here's Mark Knight, experienced campaigner in this side, looking to go left, and Eddie Sanjuan picks it up. Oh, selects the dummy. Mark Knight going for the line. Oh, an important touch just in the nick of time for Hurricanes, but that was a nice move from BBR with good intensity and flow. And Hurricanes now deep inside their own half. Can they try and work their way up into the BBR half? Looking to make that arcing and Pisani. Lovely turn of speed there, but gets it back again.
Yeah, we've seen that as their go-to attack, haven't we, in terms of to get the ball wide, to come from width into the middle as quickly as they can and just attack down that channel straight through the middle.
And on this occasion, Pisani involved, and it was Christian Sheem who finishes off at that attack. Lovely handwork to get it to him. And easy score in the end. Hurricanes, and a minute and a half remaining, 3 apiece, nothing to separate the two sides. And here's Hannah Crisp. Can BBR pull off something? We've seen it before, some late scores to win matches. Can they provide a bit of magic once again? Here's Gareth Revel looking left, and does go left into essential position.
It's one of those things with the sport is that Gareth was saying exactly where he wanted the players to go. Sometimes you can know exactly what's coming up. It's just a question of whether you can defend it or not. And obviously it's the pace at which these top teams can attack from the play the ball means that if you've got to come back 5, 6, sometimes 7 meters, depending on where the referee sets it, is all of a sudden it's a case of, right, I know exactly what's going to come up, but they're just quite frankly quicker than I am. And you're just through and either over for a score.
30 seconds then remaining. Are we going to see a last gasp score? It would be have to be quick about this. BBR now with a real opportunity. Finley Lockhart onto the middle with Gareth Revel over the 10-metre mark. Finley Lockhart gets it back with Revel involved in the centre. Can they work something?
And that's been given, Brad.
Well, unbelievable. BBR just on the hooter. And once again, BBR, as we've seen before in the Belief Elite National Touch Series, get a score right at the very last. And that will give them some momentum going into the weekend. 4-3 win for BBR. And smiles all around for this BBR side.
Yeah, and ultimately having gone behind, right at the end of the first half, the important thing is that they didn't let it go, get them down too much during the break. They came out firing, equalised quickly enough. But I think from Hurricanes, if other teams in this group who haven't played against them so far, they'd be looking at Hurricanes thinking, you know what, we're going to have our absolute work cut out if we're going to get a good result against them.
Well, that brings an end to our opening game of the weekend. BBR running out 4-3 winners against Hurricanes. Our next match will be from Pool C as Cambridge take on Frankfurt. That will be our next game here in Maidenhead. Don't go anywhere. So welcome back to Maidenhead. This is our second game of the day in the European Touch Club Championships 2019. Cambridge taking on Touch Frankfurt. My name is Bradley Open. I'm delighted to say I'm joined with Greg Cropper. And at this one, we've seen Cambridge before, of course, in the National Touch Series, but a chance to see Frankfurt in action.
Yeah, let's see what they've got. They've got the first set here on the line. Looks like they're setting something up. Unlucky there, so Sam Missing making the touch, ball down. So Cambridge on their own 5 metre line, ready to drive it out.
And if you did follow us in the Belief Elite National Touch Series, you'll recognise a lot of these Cambridge players. The Maynards, Matty and Ollie Maynard all playing. Sam Missing in your picture. There's Jones as well, looking to drive forward. That's Matty Maynard in the middle. Here is Glenn Jones making up some yards through the middle. Sam Missing always has a turn of speed about him. Plays it inside to Matty Maynard, and what a start for Cambridge. Lovely link up, and that all came from Sam Missing driving through the middle, opened that space, and a good run from Matty Maynard through the middle. And as easy as that, Cambridge have the first score.
Casually putting it down there, lots of time there, Matt Maynard. Just casually walking through in the middle. Good first set from them. Off their line all the way up, transitioned quite well.
And let's see how Frankfurt can respond, and going through the middle from the tap off.
I think that's the key from this, isn't it? In terms of the 25-minute games, you've not got as long to kind of come back. So it's they've scored, can you come back straight away as a team?
And
they have.
They certainly have. Craig Hamilton going through. Good work from Hamilton and Scott Bain. And lovely link up in the middle. Scott Bain just laying it off. 4 years with Touch Frankfurt, so he's experienced campaigner in this side for the Germans. And they finish it off well, and what a start to this second game of the day.
Definitely, it's going to be end-to-end stuff by the look of it. Sam Missing going forward. Cat Jones to Benny Powell. Unfortunately, just spilled it there to Cat. So it's an opportunity now for Frankfurt to come back, to go one ahead.
Well, let's see how Cambridge will defend. Will they put some good high intense pressure on them as Frankfurt make up some really good yards, going through the middle. Good pace and tempo to their attacks so far. Just slowing things down a tad. And picking up again in the middle, looking to go out wide. Good defensive covering though. Here a Pape just on the wing for Frankfurt.
It's deemed a forward pass by the referee, so a tap penalty taken quickly by Cambridge. Off to Ben Powell, to Missing.
Oh, lovely turn and pace away from Maynard. He's had a superb start and he goes all the way through the field and gets his second of the morning. What a start for Cambridge. What a start for Matty Maynard. The afterburners came on. It was like a road runner was there, Matty Maynard. And Sam Missing has got an assist, and all he had to do was just lay it off to him. And look at that turn of speed from Matty Maynard. And Cambridge respond straight away, like you said, Greg. End-to-end stuff. You score, we score.
Exactly, yeah. So let's see what they've got now. They came back well on the last set from the tap off from a set move. So can they keep the composure and do the same again this time?
Here's Hamilton. Gibson's just there in the left. Hamilton goes for the line.
It's down. They've given it. Gareth Hines takes a step back. The whistle is blown. It's that same man again, I think, is it? 73.
It is. Craig Hamilton involved again. Nicknamed the Princess, apparently. And he tiptoed his way through. And with 7.5 minutes remaining, 2 apiece. What a fantastic opening to this game. And here come Cambridge. Can they respond straight away? Space is opening up left, right and centre at the moment. Some good yards maybe to go through. And Frankfurt looking to sit deep at the moment. Some inviting maybe a bit of pressure And here come Cambridge. Here's Matty Maynard, who's been involved, looking to try and get his third and trying to weave his way through. Good defence from Frankfurt in the middle.
Thought he was going to pirouette then and just go through for his third.
He certainly looks lively this morning. Here's Sandlett now. Can he get his way through? Cat Jones laying off. Maynard looking to go out wide. Good defence though from Frankfurt on this occasion. It was Nicky Ferns who got the final touch, and now here comes Frankfurt. Now is Scott Bain in the middle with a red cap on. Now over the 10-metre mark.
Dancing away there from the Cambridge team. Just over the halfway line now.
Greg Gibson, the New Zealander now, makes up some good yards, just weaves right and left and goes over the 10-metre. Fantastic space made up, and really trying to drive for the line, looking to try and get the pass back.
That's a couple of times I think he's thrown that just inside pass out of the back of the hands. He's looking to the referee to ask for 6 more, but I don't think anybody played at that one. I think it was just a throw and hope, that one.
Here's Maynard. Feels like he's hasn't even had a chance to come off as he tumbles off them now. And here's Cat Jones, he makes way. Here's Samuel Missing into the middle of Glenn Jones. Jones lays it back off to Missing, and Jones gets it back over the 10-metre mark. The experienced Jones in the middle.
Walking in there in the corner.
Easy work.
Good drive there by Glenn Jones through the middle to make up the space. Sam Maynard with Missing with that little hitch kick, and then dotted down in the corner.
There seems to be a lot of space opening up for both defences. This could be a potentially very high-scoring affair at the moment. What would you say, Greg, to both sides? Just trying to, what would you try and work on to try and nullify these attacks?
I think you're probably right in terms of it's a communication thing a lot of the time, isn't it? I think it's probably just a bit quiet. First game of the day, everyone's a bit kind of finding their feet a little bit. Some of these teams might have been, you know, a long drive in the morning or a plane journey this morning from an early set off from Germany. But yeah, I think it's, like you say, first game of the day. Hopefully, just blow the cobwebs out. They've got 5 games today, so albeit all of them count, I think they'll be just trying to find their feet and get that early communication up.
So turnover now, Cambridge. Sam Missing laying it off to Glenn Jones. Missing gets it back. Molly Maynard looking to drive forward.
I think that was a late pass there. Yeah, the referee has seen that one.
Yeah, pull back, and Slater was stopped in the tracks. Referee brings it back.
It was unfortunate. He dummied the player, and the player continued to catch up with him behind. I don't think he was aware of them there. He'd already made a decision to pass, so right decision there. And then it's Frankfurt now, 20 out, to see if they've got a reply to make it even before the half-time. 3.5 minutes to go. Oh, they won't be happy with that. A fumble. They didn't even have a crack at the line, so here Cambridge go with Benny Powell up the middle. Cat Jones, an easy dummy there in the middle to make another 10 yards. Maynard again, strike dump in the middle.
Well, that was a lovely flow to that move. Cat Jones, the stylish dummy, and Maynard nearly just getting over the line, looking for his third of the morning. Here is that man, Matty Maynard. What a start to the weekend he's had. Can they try and work their way through again?
6 more to go on the line. Ben Powell passed there, knocked down by the Frankfurt middle player there, so 6 to go. Maynard to sweep. Just reset again. Looking to get that sweeper play.
Here's Powell. Jones is there. Here's Maynard to a central position. Cat Jones, can she just work her way through? Good defence from Frankfurt, holding strong, being compact in the middle.
They've been running that sweeper a few times now. I think they're probably going to look to do something different.
Here's Powell looking to go out wide. Could this be the opportunity? No.
they'd conditioned the defence quite well there. I thought they was going to go the opposite way, which would probably been a better option, I think. The defence had kind of collapsed over on that one side, but probably just the wrong option there for the Cambridge team. A little bit of confusion here. That looks like it's over the mark. I think the referee's going to come back for that one.
He just puts his hands on his head, didn't he there? Just he knew the mistake straight away. Rodrigo Pereira, he is a...
So difficult one if you don't really know the rules so much. So it was a penalty given originally. They rolled the ball, which means the half that picks it up is not actually the half. He then forgot that he wasn't. We thought he was over the mark. The referee didn't. He was going back for he wasn't the half being touched. So a bit of a technicality there with a bit of confusion from both teams. But Frankfurt are up there now on the Cambridge line, 5 metres out.
Can they get over just before the break? Oh, good defensive work. And Cambridge nullify that attack. And can the Hornets make their way up the field? Can they try and potentially get another on the scoreboard before the break? That was Nicky Ferns in the middle, number 18 with the grey cap on. Laying it back off, and here's Ollie Maynard. Good yards made up over towards their subs box. Maybe we get some fresh faces on. Here's Cat Jones weaving in and out. Back into the middle. Sandler now. Here's Sam Missing, scoops it up. Nice play from Sam Missing, looking for an option. Oh, and there he is.
With his hat trick.
We couldn't have thought of anybody else. There is Matty Maynard. He just is there. Right place, right time. And 3 all to himself this morning, Matty Maynard. And what a start for the afternoon for Cambridge and Matty Maynard.
Just a good score there just before the hooter as well. So Cambridge go into the half-time with a 2-score lead.
All that score just to give them even more momentum going into the second half. But it's been a fantastic morning so far here in Maidenhead for the European Touch Club Championships 2019. Cambridge Hornets currently leading Touch Frankfurt by 4 scores to 2. We'll be back for the second half in a couple of minutes' time. Don't go anywhere.
Roll ball is the equivalent of a ruck in rugby union or a roll ball in rugby league. What we're looking for is a clear plant of the ball, no rolling of the ball physically despite it being called a roll ball, and we're looking for the clean ball for the half to come in and either scoop or pass the ball off the deck. So a roll ball is done by putting one part of the body over the ball. So there's 2 ways you can make a roll ball. You can either plant the ball and run through, as in over the top of the ball, or you can plant the ball and swing your foot around the front of it, which is called a quickie, to step to one side or the other faster than having to step all the way over the ball. So the roll ball has to be done where you are touched or initiate the touch. It also has to be placed between the legs, not to one side or the other, so that the ref can clearly see that you've either stepped over the ball or you've swung your foot around the front of it. In the roll ball, the hips of the person putting the ball down have to be square. By that they mean they have to be parallel to the pitch, not facing one side or the other.
So here we go for the second half, the second match of the weekend. Cambridge taking on Touch Frankfurt. Cambridge have the tap off in this second half, looking to try and add to that scoreline that you'll see as they lead by 4 points to 2. Here's Matty Maynard. He got 3 in that first half. Here's Sam Missing bursting through, and what a start to this second half. 15 seconds in, and they now lead by 3 points. Sam Missing just putting on the afterburners, and that's the type of pace and skill that we're used to seeing from Sam Missing. And, well, that is the perfect start for Cambridge.
100%. I think they must have had a chat in the sub boxes. I've passed you 3 now. Matt, it's time for you to do the same. So they seem to have swapped roles on that last score. Missing and Maynard. So maybe they've changed roles at the half-time huddle.
Yeah, I think Sam Missing, like you said, just said, can you give me a chance to get a couple?
Yeah, I've got 3 assists now, and you've got 3 scores. Let's see if we can change that around.
And here come Touch Frankfurt. They definitely need the next score now if they're going to try and get a foothold back into this. Here's Hamilton. He's got a couple to his name. And here's Scott Bain looking to go for the line. Good defence from Cambridge on this occasion. And Scott Bain looking to try and drive through. Hamilton is just to his left and opts to go out wide. Ashley Lingham there, red cap on. And good defence from Cambridge. So working really well in attack and defence, Cambridge, so far. Here's Ollie Maynard laying it off. Maynard gets it back now into the centre. Slater over the 10-metre mark. Nice work. Here's Nicky Ferns and Glenn Jones, the experienced Glenn Jones in the middle. Ferns getting it back, going for the line. Oh, opting to go out wide. Good covering defence. Frankfurt defence really spread out well there and stopping that attack happening.
They did, yeah. It looks like they're coming back for a penalty of some description here. I'm not sure what they've come back for. Maybe an offside is the only thing I can think of there. The referee was just out of shot, so we missed his signal, but must have been offside. So Cambridge here with 6 to go on the line.
Ollie Maynard stopped in his tracks from Hamilton.
So I'll see how they can do. I'd be surprised if they don't score here. They're quite lethal when they get to the line. Cambridge, they've got quite a lot of moves in their armoury. The experienced Slater here.
Maynard goes in for the line, and just like his brother, he gets on the scoreboard now. He's seen Matty get a couple. Now he wants to get in the thick of the action, and he's got one himself.
Very much so. I think it's quite well set up. They'd run the same play a couple of times. 73 there. Had scored a couple at the other end, but he was turned inside out a little bit there by Oliver Maynard.
And,
it's a long way to come back now, isn't it? 4 down with 9 minutes to go.
It certainly is, and if they didn't need they certainly do need the score now if they want to salvage anything from that opening game of the weekend, but they don't need to be giving away penalties in that area of the field. Cambridge now can drive on, and they're full of confidence, buoyed by the match. Here's Matty Maynard, and look at the turn of speed he can produce. Oh, but the referee signalling, I think the ball wasn't grounded correctly, and Frankfurt can now turn over in a real high tempo to this game. Harry Missing, the youngster, you can see in the picture for Cambridge involved, and now here come Frankfurt having to be forced back. Good high pressure from Cambridge. In off is Scott Bain, driving for the line, just arcing his run round, having to go into a more central position. Scott Bain again. Looking to go for the line. Petals in the middle, but turnover. And Frankfurt losing opportunities here to get back into this.
Yeah, very much so. They definitely needed the next score. They had the opportunity there on the line, but they just didn't capitalise on it. They seem to be doing a lot of running around, but they didn't really set anything up. And I think tactically, when you get up to that scoreline, I think you need to kind of get your chess pieces in position, and I don't think they really did that very well.
Ben Powell over
nice
that
long
far
ball
side.
there. Very good there by Powell, just broke through the middle. Plenty of time, just perfectly find the winger there.
Well, Cambridge have certainly taken control in this second half, and they are advancing forward in this game, leading by 7 points to 2. Can Frankfurt respond in any way possible, looking to go out wide with a sloppy pass, and you can see just a wave in the air, a bit of frustration maybe just creeping in. They can't let that affect them. They've got a long weekend ahead of them, and Cambridge now 6.5 minutes remaining. They're looking to try and force home the initiative, try and add more points to the board. Nicky Ferns there in the middle with Ollie Maynard, laying it back off to Ferns. Slater doing well to drive their team forward over the 5 metre mark, the 10 metre mark they go, I should say, heading for the 5 metre. Slater again back inside, Jones just going forward, and Touch just on the line.
5th touch, so let's see what they can do from here. Yeah, it's very difficult in that respect, isn't it? They'd lost all of the momentum. So down to Frankfurt now to come back. It's probably too much for them on the scoreboard, but it'd be good for them to come back and just get a bit of, just a bit more confidence, I think, isn't it? At this time now, getting some of the players set up. Again, sloppy technical individual error there, just over the mark. And I think that's been one of the differences here. Cambridge's error rate has been a little bit lower than Frankfurt's. Again, not 0, but they've just had the luck of the draw on a few of them. Technically a little bit better as well.
Nice play from Cambridge, looking to drive forward. Nicky Ferns through the middle. Here is Ollie Maynard. Cat Jones now. Just slowing things right down, using all her experience. Harry Misson's there, the youngster in this side. And you can see Sandlip coming into your picture, number 56. Misson just hands it on a plate to him. Here's Jones now. Harry Missing. Oh, lovely. And Cat Jones goes over. Harry Missing involved, and that will give him a bit of confidence as well going into the weekend, knowing that he's played a crucial role in a score. And that's the 8th on the board. And you just get the feel with Cambridge compared to Frankfurt, it's just those individual moments and maybe that individual players that are just making that difference as well.
Yeah, I think they get the right players in the right positions as well, and I think they've got that little bit more patience when they get up to the line, haven't they? Where I don't think Frankfurt have got that at the moment. And even just the lines that Harry Missing was running there, he kind of steps back from where he was. And I think if you look at the replay, I think Harry probably could have scored it as well. Obviously he decided to pass it off, but I think the next time he could probably do that himself as well. So ball out here.
A lovely sprayed out pass.
He's given it. Everyone's happy with that by the looks of it. The ball is down.
And they do. Frankfurt have got one on the board. Mira Pate, the youngest in this side, with a fantastic take actually, and gets it down. Although, what's the touch just in? Referee.
So the sideline originally, I think he was looking at forward, but the on-field ref was happy with the ball. It's difficult from the angle, but you can see that where the white line was and when the pass was caught. But he was running at pace, the momentum, the hands looked like they were backwards from where we were stood. Gareth Hines, the referee there in the middle, was happy with that early big call to the players. So good to see that they got another score here. They'll be happy with that, I think. Like I said, just a bit more confidence to get a few players happening.
Here's Sam Missing. I'm sure he'd love to add another one to his personal tally. Jones laying off to Missing. Here's Ben Powell laying it back off. Maynard, does he get his 4th? He does. And that was a lovely piece of individual brilliance from Matty Maynard, just jinking back and going in for the line. And Matty Maynard has 4.
Yeah, very good. I think a lot of that came from Ben Powell's vision as well. He could have gone long. It looked like he faked long a little bit, put the defence in 2 minds. And then because the link in the Frankfurt team was chasing so hard out, it was quite easy for Maynard to stop, let the link go past him, and then kind of just dive underneath. So yeah, very well set up play there.
Scott Bain looking to try and go for the line. Rodrigo Pereira, he is new to touch rugby, the number 34 there for Frankfurt, was just supporting him, but here's Bain again. Does he look for Pereira? Pereira just strayed away from him, and no real obvious link-ups. You know, that's the difference. I sometimes find the difference in sizes. Those partnerships just not linking up well for Frankfurt, and here come Cambridge over the halfway, Sandlet linking up nicely. Here's Jones over the 10-metre. Look at the yardage he's made up, and well, just goes for a leisurely stroll through, and as easy as that, they're into double figures. Glenn Jones gets one himself.
Yeah, totally agree. This is, again, just came from a good driving platform, really. Ball on the floor, ball up off the floor with that minimal time between each drive, which I think, again, is something that Frankfurt are lacking. That downtime on the ball is critical here, specifically in the drive. And like I said, I think the Cambridge team are a little bit more drilled. It looks like they've trained together a little bit more. Like those partnerships have been built, as you were saying then, Brad. But hopefully, again, Frankfurt will build that over the week. Over the weekend, they've got 5 games to play today, so hopefully those partnerships will grow and flourish, and we'll see them stronger come later on in the day or tomorrow.
So 20 seconds then remaining of this second game of the day. Frankfurt going for the line. Can they just add one? There goes the hooter. And there is full time then in our second game of the day. Cambridge running out convincing winners by 10 points to 3, just showing a little bit more experience and class in this second game of the day. Cambridge clinical performance.
Very much so. I think if you looked at the first 5 minutes where we were kind of score for quite a while, Cambridge just ran away with it in that kind of second half. They had a couple up, 4-2 I think it was at half time, and then they've just ran away with another 6 scores in the second with only 1 reply from Frankfurt. So very good performance by the Cambridge Hornets there.
So that brings a close to our second game of the day, and we'll now move on to our third game of the weekend. Aees Agraria de Coimbra from Portugal, AAC for short, taking on Donnybrook from Ireland. That'll be our third game of the day in Pool C as well. So don't go anywhere. That'll be next up here in Maidenhead for the European Touch Club Championships 2019. So here we go in Maidenhead, the third game of the weekend. The European Touch Club Championships 2019, live on England Touch and on BBC Sports Online. AAC taking on Donnybrook. For full Aees, Agraria de Coimbra from Portugal in yellow. AAC taking on Donnybrook, who are in the black and white stripes. My name's Bradley Hope, and again joined by Greg Cropper for this one. And two sides we're not accustomed to of seeing, of course, over the last couple of months. So I think we'll have to come in with this one in fresh eyes, I think.
Yeah, very much so. Looks like Donnybrook here. I think they've gone out to the sideline, unfortunately. John Aees there, just giving the ball back. He'd scoot through quite well. Just like the winger was just out of the sideline. So now down to the Portuguese side to drive back.
It'll be interesting to see the contrast in styles from both sides. See how they play the game. Here come Portuguese side towards halfway. Turnover possession though. Donnybrook now with the opportunity.
I think going off form and looking at the team sheets in this one, I do think Donnybrook will probably. I think Donnybrook will run away with this one, but hopefully Portugal will put up a good show. We shall see how they get on.
Back into the middle, looking to go for the line, and that's first score on the board for Donnybrook. And like you said, Greg, getting off to the perfect start. The black and white stripes of Donnybrook. Donnybrook, Ireland's biggest touch rugby club. 75 active players in the club so far. And AAC will look to come forward. And here come AAC, looking to try and get the pass over to that far side. And do they get back into this? Oh, bit of confusion.
They've given the ball, they've given it.
They have. AAC, well, they respond straight away. A lovely take and got down low.
Yeah, I don't think the winger will be happy with that. It looked like she was claiming the touch, but they were happy with the ball down. So
it was Costa going on the Raquel Costa for AAC going on the line there. Back inside now. Lovely movement from Donnybrook, and that was John Aees again.
I think he was hoping that the defence was offside, so he continued running through, but the man in the middle there happy that he was onside, going long. An easy score there, I think, on the outside.
Yeah, the gates were just left wide open on that far side and executed it well.
But again, as you were saying there, Brad, about how the teams are different. If you look now, the player outside there, the winger, is they've got a guy on the wing there. So again, it just depends how the teams are stacked up, where you think your strongest team is going to be. So it is an interesting, unorthodox way of running that, but we'll see how it proves for them.
Yeah, oh, what a fantastic pass and take! Superb.
And they went really long, really early there, didn't they?
They certainly did.
Came back with it's gone 2-2 straight away, so again it could be very much end-to-end as the last game was.
Mariana Santos coming in, only 16 years of age, and is tipped to be a fantastic player in the future. That pass was fizzed out to her and she took it really well.
Early ball, didn't expect it to come out of his hands so early either, but yeah, it was cracking pass there. So that's Troy down in the middle, and they've just got it down. I think that's a couple of times that the Portuguese team just not been communicating early enough that knowing where the line is, and they're defending back over the line and they're scoring at the feet. That's the second time that's happened. So they just need to up their communication when they're 5 metres out. The wingers just need to be talking a little bit to help those middle players that are doing the work.
So how do AAC reply then over the 10-metre mark, looking to drive forward through the middle? Can they try and create something? Oh, just poor lack of discipline, and Donnybrook get their possession back and looking to get some fresh legs on, which they do. Over the halfway mark, they go back into the centre. Ball just runs loose, but they picked up by Aees, and into the middle now. John Aees gets it back. Lovely move, and just so clinical and quick, although referee just indicating a touch. There's Mark Phelan now.
Steps back out again, same play.
Touch claim by Ricardo Ramos
is
in
He's giving the ball down as the man in the middle, Dan Harrison. He looked like they did the same. They did the same play again, though. Again, very close to making the touch on that one. He's happy with the man in the middle there. So Donnybrook put 2 ahead with 5.5 minutes to go in the first half.
Donnybrook looking to try and seize control. AAC looking to try and get a foothold back into this. Oh, just fist out, almost with too much pace there. Silva in the middle trying to lay it back off. Donnybrook now turnover and possession inside their own half, over their own 10-metre. They go over halfway, eating up the yards, doing well, driving forward, lots of pace and intensity to each attack so far. And can they get over the line again? They do. And the referee gives it again. Sean Balance, 19 caps to the Island men's open side. And Donnybrook looking to extend that lead, and they've done so again, leading by 5 points to 2. Oh, look at that pass, a brilliant pass out wide. And it was number 23, Mariana Santos. She couldn't claim this one again, but those fist-out passes are absolutely, can be so clinical for AAC at the moment.
It started quickly back here while Donnybrook was subbing.
Baralho looking to go through the middle, Jose Baralho. Said to be one of the most promising players in touch rugby in Portugal at the moment.
Again, another technical error there in the middle. Hips not parallel to the sidelines there. And a fumble. How is this way going to go? Are they going to just give a touch? Or are they going to give a hard touch? Yeah, difficult. We can't see the referee's signal there, so.
You can't confirm what exactly he gave there, but here come Donnybrook again. Aees driving his team forward. Feelings there involved, and here comes that man, John Aees.
Keeps asking for that offside, doesn't he? He's expecting to just play an advantage and get a score here. Is the player coach Aees, but it didn't come, a penalty. 6 more.
James O'Donnell now, Phelan is just to his right. Stephen Troy is there as well, the number 13. Phelan laying it back off. Oh, space opening up on the wing again, and opening up. And Donnybrook go in once again.
Well, I'm not sure if they have. There's they're not sure there's a, there was no score there. They've come back. I think it's gone for a forward pass, but they've also gone for an offside at the same time. So Donnybrook still have the ball. 6 to go on the scoreline. This is where they're dangerous. And the number 18 there just walks over.
Mark Phelan, and at the second bite of the cherry, they add to that scoreboard once again.
Good diving touch there by the number 10. He was just out of time, but recovered and scrambled quite well.
And Donnybrook leading by 6 points to 2 with over a minute remaining until the break. Well, somehow getting it back and still carrying on the attack. That was a bit of such a fortune there.
Off someone's head and then back inside, yeah.
And can't communicate on this occasion, but they still have possession to the AAC.
An offside call there by the referee, so there's 6 more on the line. Let's see if they can get one just before the half-time hooter. They definitely need one, do the Portuguese team. Trying to set something up here.
Eduardo Zebra in the middle now, gets a touch, comes back. Zebra gets it back again.
It's a good strong touch there by Donnybrook. I think they're just a little bit frantic, aren't they? You can see that the other teams have got that bit more patience and structure when they get to the line rather than rushing. They're getting all of the players in the right positions, losing a touch but getting a setup for the next one, and I think that's what happened to Frankfurt in the last game, and similar to the Portuguese team here as well. I think they're rushing a little bit where they need to have a bit more patience. So again, hopefully that'll come over the course of the weekend for these teams.
Nice play, looking to try and open up once again, going through. James O'Donnell is there. Oh, just before the hooter, Donnybrook add a 7th to the board, and as you were saying, Greg, just that lack of patience and almost just trying to it almost feels like they're trying to force it too much, aren't they, the Portuguese side, and then as soon as they give away that, Donnybrook go over the other end and clinical.
Very much so. I think that's what they need to do, just a bit more time and patience when they've got a set on the line. Like you said, but I think they're rushing a little bit, panicking, and they're just not making the most of them opportunities. So 5 deficit going into the half-time. Big team talk now from the Portuguese team. So hopefully they've got a bit more to show in the second half.
So yes, at the break, Donnybrook Touch leading by 7 points to 2. Second half coming up in a couple of moments' time.
A 3-man drive is an attacking play which we use to gain momentum. The 3-man drive includes 3 players, a half, the person who dumps the ball, and the runner. These 3 players will alternate between themselves in order to create each person's role within that 3-man drive. So it'll start with a roll ball. The half will then pass the ball off the deck to the first runner. This first runner will then become the person who dumps the ball, initiating the touch on the defender, for then the person who previously dumped the ball to become the half. A 4-man drive is a 3-man drive, but with another person. The 4-man drive can also be referred to as arrows, and what we're looking to do is the exact same principle as a 3-man drive, but just to add a secondary option of the runner. So you've got 1 runner on the left, 1 runner on the right, and the half will wrap around whichever way they pass the ball, becoming the runner. The best way to complete a 4-man drive or an arrows platform is to hit one side, i.e. to pass the ball to the left, and then to pass the ball to the right, the second runner, and then the left for the third, and so on. A buddy is a 2-man play which we use to create the momentum for a 3- or 4-man drive. A buddy involves the ball being put down, stepped over, the half will then pass back to that same person, and they will run straight into the 3- or 4-man drive.
So here we go, second half then, third game of the day. AAC taking on Donnybrook, the European Touch Club Championships 2019. And for the second half, I'm delighted to say I'm joined by Samuel Missing of Cambridge Hornets. Samuel, good opening win here on pitch number 1 over a Frankfurt side, and 10-3 win in the end, and good start to the weekend.
Yeah, definitely. It was always obvious that we were going to win the game. It was just a matter by how much. So yeah, that was good.
And coming into the weekend, have you had to sort of change a few things? Obviously from the Belief Elite National Touch Series, and then coming into the weekend as Donnybrook go in again, get the start after the second half. But what were your team thinking going into the weekend?
We've had a few training sessions leading up because we see this as our biggest tournament of the year. We're just trying to make sure that we can do ourselves justice because we know we're a good team. So we just want to place as high as we can, basically.
And here come AAC, the Portuguese side, and looking to try and get some kind of foothold into this game. And as obviously playing these European sides, have you noticed differences in the way yourselves play and the English sides go about the business?
Yeah, I think the English teams are a lot more organised and structured. I think we have a bit more knowledge than the other European teams. But yeah, there's definitely a difference between the two.
And do you know much about the European sides in terms of who do you think could be your toughest opponent compared to the English sides?
I know we've got Buffaloes up next. I think they'll be pretty good. But obviously Six Pack, they've got a few Scotland Mixed Open players in. So yeah, I think that'll be good games. They'll be good, tough opponents.
Donnybrook looking in charge at the moment and looking to try and force their way to the top of the table at the moment. Yourselves, Sam, of course, leading the way. I know there's only been one game, but it's always good to see yourselves at the top of the table at early doors.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good feeling. It's a good feeling. Hopefully we stay there.
And it must be great for touch rugby in general, of course, getting live coverage here on the BBC as well, and England Touch. It must be great to advertise the sport.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Here come AAC here in the middle. Jose Baralho, one of the more promising Portuguese stars. And a good chance for AAC, and they well behind at the moment in this game, but looking to try and give themselves a bit of confidence, a bit of a boost going into the rest of the weekend. See how AC can try and force home this one. Can they just work something in the middle? There's that man, Jose Baralho.
They'll look to try and set up a move here. And that's another penalty to AAC.
Of course, early days on this weekend, so I'm sure we'll see both sides getting used to conditions, the surface, which even for the English sides, it's obviously a bit different playing on a AstroTurf pitch compared to grass.
Yeah, just take a bit of getting used to. I feel like on Astro it's a lot faster game, but yeah, it hurts to dive.
Compared to the conditions we've had over the Belief Elite National Touch Series in Oxford, of course, it was beaming sunshine, and then in Manchester we had the slogfest we had there in Salford. Yeah, so how much does it obviously change in terms of playing on the AstroTurf pitch?
It's just a lot faster. Like, I think dumping the ball is easier. Doesn't get caught up in some grass. But yeah, Donnybrook look to score here. Doing it through the hands. Oh, great touch by number 20 there.
Yeah, good defence this time around from AAC. Just over 7 minutes remaining then of the second half. Oh, lovely layoff, and just managed to get away quickly, although referee not deeming so. Turnover back towards AAC. And in terms of yourself, Sam, how are you feeling coming into this weekend?
Feeling alright, yeah, feeling fresh. Can't wait to get started. It's only just started. I want to get into it. Can't wait. I've been looking forward to it for a while now. It's going to be a good tournament.
And of course, a busy August for yourself, going off to Paris as well.
Yeah.
So it's going to be, I'm sure you're excited for the month ahead.
Yeah, definitely. I'm excited. Be good fun. Really good fun.
And young Harry, of course, in the side as well this weekend.
Bless him.
How much has he been looking forward to it as well?
Yeah, he only got the call up about last weekend at men's and women's. He only got the call up then. So yeah, but he's looking forward to it. I can't wait to play with him.
Yeah, he got an assist to his name, I think, in the
yeah.
first game as well. So sure, does that just give him a little bit of confidence as well?
Yeah, I think he was quite nervous going into it. It's just like, look, just chill, you'll be fine. You're here for a reason. Just reassuring him, really. But yeah, it's a big stage for a 14-year-old.
Absolutely. And we were talking actually on myself and Greg. You laid off a few to Matty in that first game, and was there a bit of talk? Just sort of give me a couple of chances, Matty, in the second half.
Yeah, I think I got one to my name. Not as good as Matty Main. I got 3 or 4.
Yeah, 4 in total. I think Matty in the end. Here come Donnybrook looking to try and add another one. Oh, lovely in the end. Donnybrook had another one over on that far side. Quick hands, and looking at this one, Donnybrook really taking command. And if looking ahead to the rest of the games, I think Donnybrook and Cambridge is your side. Could be an interesting game.
Yeah, it will be.
So just over 5 minutes remaining of this second half. AAC, can they try and add another one? Or just collapsing on the ball, but still going strong here. Silva in the middle now. Brahel trying to get it out wide towards Santos. Santos, another promising Portuguese player. Lots of heritage. The AC side established in 1965, the 7th oldest team in Portugal. AAC, so they've been around, and would love to try and add a couple more to the board. At Donnybrook, look, a really strong outfit. Plenty of experience in this island side. 4 minutes remaining then until the break. And of course, the competition's a bit different in terms of the timings of the games. Almost just 12-minute bursts, aren't they? How's your team sort of going to cope with the high intensity? 5 games in total today.
So I think it just makes you can't go behind in the game. You have to always keep within spitting distance, or even always stay in front. If you go 3 or 4 down, it's really, really hard to get it back up and try and win that game.
Yeah, compared to the Belief Elite National Touch series, we had 20-minute halves. It was almost you could go behind but still be able to turn it around. So a lot different this weekend. 24-minute burst matches, 14 in total this weekend. Here come Donnybrook through the middle. Can they try and create another angle opportunity? Oh, ball spread out wide.
Oh, she's gone for the penalty anyway. Penalty to Donnybrook.
Yeah, the 16-year-old Santos there just couldn't claim it. Another one of the promising players in this side.
Yeah, I think she scored a few, hasn't she? I think she scored 1 or 2.
Yeah, she certainly looks a really good player, one for the future, definitely. Has one on the scoreboard, as you quite rightly said there, Sam. Donnybrook going in again. Some real experience. Look at the names. John Ennis, the current Ireland Men's Open vice captain. And on my notes, fond of eating as well. As we get a little stat pack given to us for the weekend, giving us some interesting facts and notes for each of the players. And here come AC looking to come forward into the middle. The experienced number 14, Eduardo Sibra, on the ball there, looking to go right. And some space potentially opening up good defensive work from Donnybrook. Donnybrook, one of the the biggest side in Ireland and attracting other players, of course, in that part of the world. Current Ireland Touch Series champions. Came 5th in the Berlin Capital Cup as well.
Good save and touch there by the middle for Donnybrook.
So a minute and a half remaining. And even though they are way behind in the scoreline, just a score or maybe even two just before the end can just give a team just a bit of momentum going into the next one. Let's see how they deal with this attack. Portuguese side, can they add one? Jose Neves. And
look to spread it wide. Has she got through? No, it looks like a touch.
Referee just signalling the touch there. Look, for a minute, it looked like she just weaved her way through. Sandwiched in the middle though. 40 seconds remaining then on our scoreboard. Of course, we'll wait for that infamous hooter. Just can't grab it.
Oh, bit of juggling going on there.
A bit of hot potato. Yeah. 14, Eduardo Seabra just watching the ball escape from him, and Donnybrook now build from the back. 20 seconds remaining. Can they add another one? Can they add a 12th to the scoreboard? Look at the yardage and pace made up. John Ennis, player coach. And the team manager, Ian Cooling, will be happy with his team's outing, first outing of the weekend. Waiting for that hooter. And there it goes to the final phase of play. Can Donnybrook add another one?
Oh, straight through the middle.
And stroll through, and they do add one. And that will bring an end to our third game of the day, and a fantastic outing for Donnybrook over Aees Agraria de Coimbra, the Portuguese side, AAC for short. And still very early days in this weekend, and they'll have more opportunities to try and add points to that scoreboard. But Sam, thank you very much for joining me in the commentary box, and good luck for your remaining games.
Thank
Buffalo,
you.
that's right, is the next
yeah,
next
Buffalo's,
game
I
too?
think I'll field too, so unfortunately won't be on here.
We'll keep the viewers up to date with all the scores going on around the ground. But that brings an end to our third game of the day, and we'll move on to our fourth, which will be Hurricanes. We saw them in our first game of the day. They'll be taking on the English side, Hot Custard, and that will be in Pool A. So don't go anywhere. That's our next game here in Maidenhead for the European Touch Club Championships 2019. So here we go, our 4th game of the day. Hurricanes taking on Hot Custard. And Hot Custard looking to try and get off to the perfect start. So our 4th game here at the European Touch Club Championships 2019 here in Maidenhead. Had 3 fantastic games so far for you. And this action comes from Pool A. We already see Hurricanes involved in the first game of the day, losing out 4-3 in a last gasp win for BBR. Let's see how Hurricanes can respond in this second game of the day. So Hurricanes looking to try and get the first score, and they do just that. And what a start to this game. 4th game of the day. Hurricanes. And oh, lovely diving score. Number 44. Lucas Fulgeron. And here come Hot Custard over the 10-metre line. Driving on forward, and I'm delighted to say for this one I'm joined by John Ennis from Donnybrook, and your side got off to a really good start this morning.
Yeah, a bit slow to start, but we got it going there in the end. Great to play against a team from Portugal.
Yes,
that's over here for the weekend.
And is that just the momentum your side are needed, just going through the weekend? It's always good to get off to the perfect start.
Yeah, it's nice to start with a win, of course. We were a little bit shaky in the beginning, but we started to work through our system, so we were pretty happy with the result in the end.
And in terms of your side, how were they feeling coming into the week?
Wales, and then you play some of the European nations, and it's almost amazing that just that short channel, and they play a very different style of touch. They run a lot of plays dumping on links rather than dumping on middles, and to us it seems unstructured, but to them I'm not sure if it is. Maybe it's a plan. We just can't read it. So it's great to play these teams that you don't face on a weekly basis.
So 6.5 minutes remaining. Hot Custard currently leading by a score. But
ooh, good pickup. Great pickup.
pickup.
She won't be thanking him. No drinks, no drinks for you in the bar tonight.
Yeah, a bit of a hospital pass, as they would say sometimes. And
good feet to get in behind the defenders.
Absolutely.
Now what can we set up here? Score here would be huge. Oh no, don't cut.
Oh, turnover.
I think that French number 9, he's one of their lead players, isn't he?
Yeah, Hugo Barret, the French main open player, and 2 times Euro bronze medalist as well. Yeah,
I've definitely seen him around the trap for a few years now.
Key player in this Hurricane side, and here come Hot Custard looking to force
a nice
initiative.
setup.
Absolutely, looking to go wide. Just teasing with
Romy didn't know the line there.
Let's have another look at this again on the replay. That pass out wide.
So the last 2 opportunities that guy's had, he's hit link. This time he's through to wing.
And Hot Custard extend that to a 2-point lead, leading by 5 points to 3. 5 minutes remaining until full time.
We've got a clean setup here. Running the ML, the hammer. Oh, just fell shy. Custard get an opportunity to get off their line now. Looks like they're driving, not subbing. Not entirely sure what happened there. Could be the new Brexit rulings coming into play.
So yeah, here come Hot Custard driving over the halfway line. Good yards made up. Good intensity.
Oh, that's a great steal.
Fantastic steal. Look at this. And here come Hurricanes. They need the next score.
Great turnover in the middle of the park. Should be able to get there with a couple of spare touches to set up some plays. That's 2 down. Oh, that was unfortunate. Not squaring a roll ball. Coach killer.
That's the one, isn't it? Yeah, we've heard that a few times. And over the halfway line they come, Hot Custard. Can they try and kill this game off? 3.5 minutes remaining.
Got very strong girls in this Custard team. Leah Cuthbertson on this near side. England mixed open player for a number of years.
Very experienced player, lots of good experience in this side. Pass just a bit wayward.
I think it's a tall ask to get 2 scores here in the last 3 minutes.
Yeah, compared to, of course, the Belief Elite National Touch Series, we have 20-minute halves. They fly by, don't they? And talking to Samuel Misson as well from Cambridge, and he was saying that when you get into these games, you've got to start quickly. You don't want to try and get behind the play, do you?
Absolutely. Sam's also got youth on his side, so
of course.
I think those 40-minute games aren't much to him. Is his younger brother playing as
He is. Harry is playing today. Yeah, he was saying that he got the call up last week and was a bit nervous going into the first game, but managed to get an assist on the board, which
oh, that's great hands.
Look at that. And that
great hands. Another score for Romy.
Should kill the game off.
Giving it, yeah. Jack and Sam's parents put the envelope under the door.
You're playing
British Lions style.
Yeah.
Yeah, ball down first.
Yeah, Hot Custard really forcing home the initiative, and they lead by 6 points to 3 now, with under 2 minutes now remaining.
We've got Custard last pool game, so that could be a biggie.
Yeah, Amsterdam RCL Touch and Sam Rock as well in the same group as yourselves.
Which country are RCL from?
Luxembourg.
Is that Luxembourg, is it?
It is, so we've got...
Look at the pace on this. Touch 3 and we're just shy of the halfway line.
Oh, just couldn't cling on to that one. It was almost too quick for their own good at some point. And here come Hurricanes. On the 10 metre, here's Pisani himself, but he needs that support.
Oh, Katrina Weir, another Scottish girl, gets in with a score and the kick back to halfway. It didn't look very cultured right foot, but we'll take it.
And that brings an end to our 4th game of the day here in Maidenhead, the European Touch Club Championships 2019, and Hot Custard ran out 7-3 winners over the French side, Hurricanes. Eddie, thank you very much for joining me in the commentary box.
My pleasure, my pleasure.
And,
have a great day.
Thank you. Good luck to the rest of your games throughout the day and the weekend. And we'll move on to our 5th game of the day. CSSC London Eagles will be taking on Barcelona in Pool B. That's our first bit of action we'll see on pitch number 1 in Pool B. CSSC London taking on Barcelona. That'll be coming up next. So welcome back to Maidenhead, our 5th game of the day. London Eagles taking on Barcelona. A mixture of styles we'll see on show in this one. England taking on Spain. London Eagles, also known from CSSC London, as we saw in the Belief Elite National Touch Series. And here come CSSC, and a lot of recognisable faces in this London Eagles side. And also Lois Lau, World Cup bronze medalist with the England women's 27s. Naomi Fearnett, Chris Wall, Claire Waddle, lots of recognisable names in this one. Barcelona, lots of experience as well in this side. And here So as we get underway in this first half, we're going to have a quick word with one of the Hot Custard players. I believe we have Angle Ald joining Chris down by pitch side.
Indy, Angel Ald from Hot Custard, a nice win over the Hurricanes.
Yeah, it was great. We were expecting a big game from them, and that's definitely what they delivered, so we're very happy with that result.
Did you have anybody watching their opening game against BBR?
We did send a couple of scouts just to check out their tricks. Didn't pick up much, but it was a bit of fun anyway.
As 2 wins from 2 for you as far as today is concerned, is that what you were expecting, or are you just still taking each game as it comes?
Oh, look, we're definitely a side that we don't know what we're turning up with, you don't know what we're turning up with, so every tournament's a bit unexpected for us, but definitely if we can get in that top bracket for tomorrow, we'll be very happy. Yeah,
as far as the England setup's concerned, you guys won the final cup competition of the year at Oxford a few weeks back, but as you say, you know, with the Hot Custard crew, it is very much who's available every weekend. So, I mean, how many changes are there first off for that weekend?
There's a fair few changes. We're mostly relying on the Tier 5 Youth Mobility Visa, so that means we have a fairly high turnover. So yeah, it's a fairly different team that we had from the last NTS.
But it seems to be that there's such a collective, you know, the second somebody pulls on the red vest, and has a Darren sock here, everybody's part of a crew.
Excellent. No, definitely, you know, the off-field stuff is definitely, you know, if not more important than the on-field stuff. We're definitely a club who's here to have fun.
But that said, here to win this weekend.
Definitely. Oh, if we can get a win out of it at the same time, then, you know, bloody beauty.
As far just finally, the fact that the top 2 teams go through to the cup competition tomorrow, does that take the pressure off a little bit?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think about it too much. I just turn up and run. The boys do all that organising, so I'm just here to run the holes.
And thanks very much, Indy. And we'll shoot back up to Brad just to carry on with the game between Barcelona and CSSC London Eagles.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Chris. And we are back into the action here on the pitch as London Eagles, as you'll see on the scoreboard, leading by a score to 0 thanks to number 77, Rosalind Charston. It was a fantastic play from Chris Wall to get in there and get on the board. And London Eagles leading by a score to 0. How do Barcelona respond? London Eagles looking to go through the middle, looking to drive the team forward. Dan Wines, here's Claire Waddle. Wines picks it up again over the 10 metre, looks to go long and just couldn't be picked up. Rachel Atkins. Just couldn't pick up that fizzed out pass to this near side. But look at this pressure from London Eagles. It's a bit of a trademark of this side that we saw in the Belief Elite National Touch Series. A high line, intense defensive line. It was almost as entertaining to watch them defend as it was to see them attack. And here come London Eagles. Barcelona looking to come forward now in a central position over the 10 metre line. Kevin Tracy in the middle for Barcelona, born in Australia, Kevin Tracy. He's represented New York and San Francisco at the US Nationals and represented the USA at the 2015 Touch World Cup for the mixed open team. And looking to go for the line. Barcelona, are they back in it? They certainly are. Are they? No, referee doesn't give it. James Venner, originally from North Devon, was just going over the line. Here's Andrew Dyer looking to come forward over the 10 metre. Lois Lau. Chris Wall making that arcing run, driving his team forward. Nice pick up now. Here's Lois Lau. Dyer to the left. Dyer gets it. Oh, and looking for that support as the half. Oh, and finds the support. Rebecca Maxwell goes in after great work from Andrew Dyer. Andrew Dyer just finding Rebecca Maxwell. And she does well just to claim it and touch the ball down. And London Eagles currently leading by 2 points to 0. Barcelona to try and get this next one on the board. Doug Maltby now in the middle. Is this the chance? Oh, what a fantastic last gasp touch. Sean Atkins there at the very last, and a turnover now. Here's Dan Wines. Such a presence in the middle of this London Eagles side. Here's Andrew Dyer. He's a bit of a whippet as well. He really finds the space. Lois Lau, she's the linchpin of this London Eagles side. Fantastic player to watch. And here comes the Eagles once again. Can they get through? Here's the half, looking for the support. Oh. Referee just having a deliberation. I'm just saying it was a hard touch, so London Chargers will get the opportunity for a fresh 6 now. Chance to go for the line. It was Michaels going in. Referee likes it. And the London Chargers now race into a 3-0 advantage. Richard King involved in the assist. Member of the England men's 30 side, Richard King, an experienced campaigner, and using all his nous there to help his side. Barcelona now looking to try and get back into this one. Oh, manages just to cling on. Kevin Tracy back into the middle. Osorio out with Tracy now, just barking out the orders. Osorio now back with Tracy. Osorio, one of the founding members of the Touch Rugby Barcelona side. Tracy now. Oh, and looking to go through himself. Osorio. Oh, what an important one. And a fist bump in the air. He's happy with that one as he just weaves his way through and they get themselves on the board. An important score for Barcelona. Look at that. Just weaving in and out and getting over the line. And with seconds to go in this first half, an important score for Barcelona. Or will that good work be undone straight away by London Eagles? Lois Lau now. Richard King's to the left, but opts to go into a more central position. Winds now. Puts it down. He gets it back. Atkins is in the middle there. Oh, just lays it back off to Richard King. He wasn't expecting it. Referee just having a word on a turnover. Referee ordering the turnover in possession. Here come Barcelona. They're only going to creep forward, and that's the final phase of this first half. So London Chargers in command at the moment as they lead by 3 points to 1, although Barcelona getting that score just before the break will give them that much needed boost going into the start of the second half. But it is the Chargers who lead by 3 points to 1.
In touch, you can have rolling substitutions. The attacking team will use this in their favour in order to get fresh legs onto the pitch. A subbing move will usually take place when a defensive turnover occurs. A subbing move can be anything from a backdoor play or a three-man drive in order to get the space on the field for 3 or 4 fresh players to come onto the pitch. When subbing on, you have to enter in an onside position in what's called the gate. This is the 10-metre channel from both sides of the pitch, and you have to enter onto the pitch and off the pitch through this gate as well.
So back underway here in Maidenhead, the European Touch Club Championships 2019. London Chargers leading by 3 points to 1. But Barcelona getting that critical score just before the break, thanks to Gaesen Osoro. Looking to try and go in again. If they can get the next score, that'll just put a bit of pressure on this London Chargers side. Looking to come forward. Oh, just that pass a little bit loose over to the left hand channel, just couldn't be picked up in time. Here's Andrew Dyer. Oh, lovely run, marauding through the centre of the field, gets the touch. Chris Wall laying it off. Over the halfway line they go. Dyer picks it up. Here's Chris Wall again. Lovely movement. Dyer laying it off. In a central position. Dyer getting it back again. Oh, going for the line. Does she get it? No, sixth touch. And turnover and possession. Michaels was there. We're waiting. Rosalind Charleston. In your picture as well for London Chargers. Oh, lovely fist up pop pass, and Barcelona looking to try and drive on forward. Doug Maltby now over the 10-metre mark. Good pressure from London Chargers. We saw them in the Believe Fleet National Touch Series. Their defence was just so strong and high-tempoed, putting high pressure up the pitch every time the opposition came forward. And Lois Lau, who's on the field now, normally the main instigator of that. Here's King. Back inside. Chance now maybe to go for the line. Oh, and they get it. Claire Waddle. Smile on her face, and that's because London Chargers now have that 3-point gap back in their favour. Lovely link-up play between Jason Waddle and Claire. Linking up really nicely. 9 minutes remaining, and the Chargers in command at the moment. Can Barcelona do anything about it? And a Paxto in the middle. Slowing things right down. And a turnover and a opportunity for London Chargers. What a fantastic individual run this is. Look how much yards he's making up as he enters into the Barcelona half. Lois Lau lays it off to Wines, and now here's Chris Wall. Chris Wall back to Lois Lau. Wines gets it. Oh, that is absolutely stunning from London Chargers, but it's not going to count. A forward pass, it looked like, or the referee indicating. Yeah, let's have another look at this then. Yeah, referee just signalling for a forward pass. And a shame, because it was a superbly run move. Oh, and just, oh, look at this. Bit of a quick 1-2 in the centre. Osado back into the middle. Oh, and Kevin Tracy was just waiting and looking for that runner that never came. And a turnover now inside their own half for London Chargers. They are in total control at the moment. Our first look at both these sides today. Dyer Wines is directly behind him. Wines going, and here's Dyer. Oh, and he took it from such a high position and just couldn't in time get it down. And he's a tall fella, is Andrew Dyer. Just couldn't do it in the nick of time. Here come Barcelona running a sub move, getting some new faces onto the field. Oh, lovely turn of pace. Where did that acceleration come from? Fantastic pickup. Really running the move nicely, although stops in the tracks at the moment, Barcelona. Doug Maltby now. Turnover. And both sides just not, in the last couple of minutes, just making a few mistakes at the line. Andrew Dyer just getting to his feet and simply passing it off. Lois Lau. One of CSSC's longest serving players, Lois Lau. And Chris Wall gets that pass out wide and tries to find Rosalind Chaston. And the referee awards the try. Chris Wall, you see him smiling there as he skips to his left. And that pass out wide. Oh, and it was just getting into the corner before the touch came. So Chargers leading by 5 points to 1. Just a quick 1-2 in the middle. Kevin Tracy. And you see Martha Bruniu started playing touch in 2014, the number 4 for Barcelona. Dan Wines now, such a presence, a towering presence in his London Chargers side. And a nice turn of pace there in the middle. Simple layoff back inside. Here's Claire Waddle. Chaston. Oh, no. Another error. A few errors creeping into both sides now. More frequent turnover in possession. Here come Barcelona. James Venner. Osorio. He's got the single score for Barcelona. Osorio represented Spain in the Europeans in 2009 and then went to play for Touch Catalunya. 30+ caps for them. Oh, and Osorio going in over the line. Referee gives it and he gets a second. And look at the fist pump. He's pumped up for this one. And with 3.5 minutes remaining, he adds another one to his personal tally. Lois Lau. Back into the middle. Lau gets it back. Dyer's to the left. Look to that on running to the right. Atkins was there, but here's Dyer. Going for the dive again. Oh, and a critical touch just before stopping Dyer getting any further. He loves a dive, does Andrew Dyer. Here is that man again. Oh, going in. No referee looking around. And confirms it. And Andrew Dyer has one to his name now. He's been forcing and trying to get one. And he's finally does this time around. Andrew Dyer. And that takes a score to London Chargers 6, Barcelona 2. And just on my personal notes, and someone's written in for Andrew Dyer, spends more time horizontal than vertical, and this is a reference to Andy's constant diving on the touch pitch. Looking to go left and go in. Oh, and there is a third. out of nothing. Osorio, one of the founding members of this side, and he has 3 to his name. Fantastic performance from him. And he looks well up for it for the weekend. He doesn't look like he's going to give up the hope, but a minute and a half to go until full time. Claire Waddle into the middle. Lewis Lau. Wines. Oh, he just fumbles it, which is rare for him. But it's been brought back, and London Chargers have an opportunity now. Fresh set of 6. Can they finish off in style? Lewis Lau. Now with Lewis Lau again. Claire Waddle. Going left. Looking for that support from King. Here's Lewis Lau. Gets in low to Waddle. She gets it back. Just twisting and turning on the edge of the 5 metre, but now getting towards the scoring line, and Wines goes in himself and gets it, and they do finish off in style with just over 30 seconds remaining. That was patient build up from the Londoners and using all their experience in nous to get over the line, and they are on their way to adding another win to the board. Under 20 seconds remaining on our score box. Can Barcelona try and add another one before the hooter goes? Oh, this is lovely build-up from Barcelona, looking to drive forward. And Chris Wall just sticks an arm out. And Adjasola goes absolutely flying, but he's back in it now as the hooter does go to the final phase of play. And the touch comes in, and that is full time in our 5th game of the day. London Eagles run out winners against Barcelona, and London Chargers add some more points to their group table in a convincing victory for London Chargers. And so we'll be back for our next game, which will see BBR, we've seen in action already this morning, take on Amsterdam, and we'll have a first look at the Dutch side then in our next game, which will come from Pool A. BBR taking on Amsterdam. That's coming up next here in the European Touch Club Championships 2019.
Me ha devuelto la vida, ¿eh? Está bueno, está bueno. Great. Really amazing. That is one of the best things we do. They really tournaments in England a lot. So they've won, I think, 3 tournaments this year. Great effort. 7-3, 3-1 first half, 4-2 second half, 1-2. The only thing with our defense is just get tighter and make them score long passes. Stay tight in the middle, and when they come to one side, you'll come together. And we'll go the other way. So if one comes up, one's right behind them on the other side, right? They've probably scored 3 or 4 through the middle. We can eventually eliminate that stuff, and we're trying, and we're one behind us. It's a great effort. Really great effort.
The action keeps coming thick and fast here at Maidenhead Rugby Club in the Thames Valley. It's still dry, it's still warm, and getting warmer, a little bit humid, and this game coming up that we've got, or started already, should I say, is XXX Amsterdam Touch, playing from right to left as we watch, and they're up against BBR, who we saw open the day with a win. But it's Amsterdam who get underway with the first score of this game. And given the start that BBR had to the tournament, Amsterdam are going to need all the scores they can get, joined by Naomi Finnett from London Eagles, CSSC London Eagles, to give them their full title. Just see having had a good win over Barcelona in the previous game. How are you finding it so far?
Yeah, no, it's great. It's really fun actually to play against some different teams from the different European countries. So yeah, it makes a nice change from always playing the London teams or across the UK. So nice to see some different people out there.
And in terms of your day so far, obviously we've seen you win here as well. Is that how have your other results come?
Yeah, no, good. We've had 2 wins from 2 for the moment. Our first game was against Jersey, and we won that quite comfortably, which was nice. And then we just had that game there against Barcelona, so another win for us there. But these 12-minute halves are taking a bit of getting used to. But no, I think it's just making for a really fast, fluid game, which is nice to see.
As BBR tie things up, showing no ill effects from that conceding that first score. Finley Lockhart diving over from close range. Just a quick word about the length of the halves. Obviously 12 minutes, that as opposed to the 20 that you've been playing in the Elite National Touch Series. What is the key difference in terms of strategic planning and how you approach the game?
I think with it being such a short half, you have to go out all guns blazing sort of for the first few, and kind of, yeah, make sure you're kind of getting your plays together quite quickly. You know, don't have much time to kind of play catch up, so you really want to come out fast and running and hitting everything quite quickly. But also don't panic as well, I think, is a bit of a strategy. So, you know, if you get a couple of down, just make sure you're, you know, you're going through your sequences and getting your plays together.
BBR, having held out that time, starts coming up through Gareth Revel, him in the famous red baseball cap, crosses halfway. The Welsh veteran. And now it's one of the English experienced players, Ali Hogg. Both players out in the World Cup earlier this year, which you'd have watched on the BBC first thing in the morning, live from Malaysia.
Going long here. Good hands there from the winger.
That's a good catch by the BBR winger, Pearl Kelly. Taking a break from the high world of finance to head up the Thames Valley to Maidenhead this weekend, and it's Amsterdam who, having held that, making the break. Daniel Guinness.
Oh, we've just got a ball down actually, giving BBR straight in their half.
So a massive thanks to all of the teams for sending us their contributions, just to give us a little bit of insight into their players. And Daniel Guinness, who we saw just there, the Amsterdam 35, apparently he grew up aspiring to be a man, but everybody else in the squad grows up aspiring to be Dan.
Well, that's a big compliment.
Either that or a massive ego.
Yeah.
But it just shows the community that Touch has across Europe, and you know, from it here in England. But you know, we've got Welsh players, Scottish players, and a whole load of expats playing for the various European clubs, as well as we see BBR looking to extend their lead, and that's exactly what they do through Pearl Kelly here on this near side. Their trademark long pass out to the unmarked wingers, and BBR are in front for the first time. Just talk us through this, Naomi, first off.
I think Finley here is going to pick up, look to go in short, and then just chucks it long out here to the winger with a wide overlap there.
It's a great angle that from the high behind, just showing just how far those passes do get whipped out from the middle. So you don't really get that on the side angle. But just to go back in terms of the touch community across Europe, it's very close-knit and very personable. I mean, CSSC, you know, as the Eagles, you've played in a number of European tournaments this year. How's this comparing?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's great that we can kind of go to all different countries now, and the sport's growing so much. We've got a lot more participation, sort of, you know, the European countries and the Wales, the UK now. So yeah, it's a really nice community that's being formed, and you know, to get the chance to go to places like Amsterdam, Prague, you know, Paris, it's a great chance to play in these countries and kind of get some travel time in as well.
Little mistake from Eric Besnard, turns the ball over, and here come BBR, Gareth Revel. Gets it off to Hannah Crisp, Scottish international. She gets touched just before she, well, I thought she'd been touched just before she ran out, but no, she went out. And you see there's a little bit of a discussion about the sideline there and just getting your bearings here on this pitch. Is it how confusing is that on
I think the lines,
pitch?
there's some really clearly marked lines, and then there's some that are a bit faded. So just kind of getting the dimensions of the pitch can be a bit challenging. Particularly the try line, people I think are struggling to see sometimes. So it makes the communication from the wings really important.
Daniel Guinness is the man making the break, but he gets touched as the half, and it's a turnover for BBR. Midway through this first half of this game, you can keep up to date with all of the results as they happen. The links are on the England Touch Facebook page, facebook.com/England Touch.
Let's see if they'll try and spread it out here to come back the other side, I think.
BBR giving themselves options left and right with this attack. Revel gets the ball off the floor. He's got options left and right, but he can't get touched. He is still the half. Feeds it inside to Mark Knight. Matt Michel.
Going to go through. No, just good touch there for Amsterdam.
They have a few hot steppers in the mids. They seem to keep bringing them in, year out. If they're not Welsh, they're Scottish, and if they're not Scottish, they're from the hot stepper factory.
Oh dear, Amsterdam just dropped it over again. Ali Hogg's picked it up.
And is that a late pass or is that an offside? I think that's an offside. BBR are going to restart with a penalty. Mark Knight takes the tap, and this is at the moment they've got the experience trust on.
Yeah, they're big guns here. Gareth will probably look to take charge here, set something up for them.
And gets the ball out to Matt Michel. No panic here from the BBR crew. Mark Knight takes the touch, gets it straight back off the deck from Gareth Revel. Goes for the line, diving, is that down?
I think the referee is saying touch first.
And so BBR will put it back out to the 5 metre line, give themselves a bit of space. Lots of chat between the two experienced men in the middle. This time.
Gareth looks inside pass here. Oh, beautiful trail run there by Mark Knight.
Great score there by Mark Knight. Now this is, you guys had a fantastic semi-final to watch.
Yes.
Up in Manchester, not necessarily to play them because they did win with the last play of the game. How tough is it to play? I mean, what we've seen with BBR there, we've seen them go wide, we've seen them come straight off the deck, and now we've seen a little reverse pass, like a blind reverse pass. How difficult is it to defend them?
Yeah, they've just got so many weapons in their arsenal, and they're all so skilled ball players. So you've got your experienced heads out there like Gareth, who just knows how to manipulate the defence so easily, and they can all, they can throw short, they can throw long, as you said. So you just have to be constantly guessing as a defender, and you keep you in two minds.
And they're without a couple of their England brains trust as well, Clark Hobson and Ryan Mimchik, who aren't playing this weekend.
Yeah, those boys make them even more deadly because their quickie games and things like that is ridiculous. So yeah, they are always threatening.
Amsterdam still are not panicking.
Oh, they're going long here.
Anthony Smith gets the ball wide, but it just hits the deck. He was one who was out at the World Cup, who was known in the squad as El Presidente. No obstruction. I don't know whether that's in his defence or in his attack, but regardless, he got at the heart of the play just there for XXX Amsterdam. And BBR, once again, it's Mark Knight and Gareth Revel dictating. And Matt Michel, the three have come on again.
Balls goes around there.
They do work in these pods, don't they? It's so it's almost teams within teams. Is that the same thing that you have at the Eagles?
Yeah, I mean, we tend to vary it up depending on kind of who's playing each tournament, but we do try and get some consistency in the pairings so that you kind of get that rhythm going together and you kind of learn each other's games a bit more, so there's less kind of disjointedness in your attack.
As Amsterdam, to their credit, they're not letting their heads go down, and here they come off the deck. That's Andrew McTaggart. Just ball hits the deck again. They're getting themselves into the right areas of the field. What have they got to do to convert those into scores? I mean, it's always difficult against a side as well honed, as experienced as BBR.
Yeah, I mean, they're only 3-1 down. There's still plenty of time to go. We've got a whole other, half to come now. So I think they just need to settle it a little bit. Don't force the pass if it's not on, and just take time to set up, and hopefully it will convert with the continued pressure.
Ali Hogg just gets touched just before halfway. Hannah Crisp off the deck, and here come the slightly younger crew. Finley Lockhart, we've seen him set one up already.
Is he shone through? Wow, he sliced through there.
Roger Neighbours is the ref man in the middle, and he's having a chat to see if there was a touch made.
Looks like it was a touch, I think. Amsterdam subbing on here, but they're not making much ground, to be honest.
There's one of the things that we've noticed domestically about how the Eagles have been attacking is that you really look to drive through the sub-box to keep the momentum going. How do you work on that in training, and then how do you adjust that in a game pattern? Because when you're up against a team that defends as aggressively as BBR.
Yeah, I mean, I think we practice our subbing play a lot because we know, in the hot conditions, things like that, we're usually going to be wanting to come to the box, and if you can get that really fluid transition and it's not kind of chunky and things like that, then it really makes for a smoother game. So. And we practice it a lot in training, and then we try and adapt it as we can when we kind of recognise what the defence is doing, and sort of have a few variations off that.
And we'd have seen that in the last game against Barcelona, especially just the momentum that it takes out when you're getting fresh players on and they're having to come behind the players. Amsterdam had to do just there. Now here come BBR, Eddie Sanjuan. It's dictating
play here.
Looking for support left and right. Ball comes away. Finley Lockhart. Is that a late pass? I think that is going to be given, and that has indeed been given by the referee.
Oh, Finley playing around a bit there with the ball.
Surprised the referee hasn't run on that without. It tends to be something which is very frowned on in terms of that kind of gamesmanship, but though we can see from our commentating position there's lots of chat between the officials and the players. We saw there that how just the fine margins, I think we saw with Hurricanes in the first game, that they got given a score against BBR, that the ball was on its way out, and in this situation BBR, it's a penalty against them for something which is just a split-second difference. Yeah. But half-time it is. BBR are leading 3-1, 2 touchdowns to the good, and we'll be back with the second half of this game in 3 minutes' time.
A touchdown is the only way to score points in touch. A touchdown happens when the ball is grounded with downward pressure on or over the whitewash. The ball can be touched down but needs to be under control, and there needs to be downward pressure. A touchdown is worth 1 point. As there are no conversions in touch, you can score anywhere along the line, and as long as there is downward pressure and it is under control.
Just having a quick look at the league tables here at the half-time of this game between BBR, who, although they've got the England flag next to their name and they are affiliated to England Touch, are very much a home nation's smorgasbord of international talent up against XXX Amsterdam. But we've got 18 teams here from 11 nations from across Europe, from as far afield as Portugal and Scotland and everywhere in between. And I'm joined by Naomi Fennett from CSSC London Eagles, who will help me talk through this second half. My name's Chris Wirmath, and welcome to you if you are just joining us for the 2019 European Club Championships at Maidenhead Rugby Club, as we hear the 30-second beeper go just for the second half. Naomi, just you were talking in the first half about the bringing the difference that playing against these different teams compared to, say, the London teams who you guys have played an awful lot against over the course of the domestic season and in the Super League as well. Just in terms of the different challenges that you face. Touch is a simple game, but there are lots of complexities. I mean, it's on the surface it's a simple game, but are there lots of complexities that different nations and different clubs make you face?
Yeah, I mean, I think every team has sort of variations of the same kind of standard plays and moves, but definitely each one brings something different, puts their own flair on it. So it's nice actually to see some new things coming out, and we can all kind of learn from that and, adapt it to suit us.
Here come Amsterdam.
BBR actually just dropped it straight off the tap off there. So they've invited Amsterdam straight in.
And that's just a little bit of a loss of control, unfortunately, there from Masayo Titano and Anthony Smith. Just fumbling the ball at the breakdown, and that's a turnover, and BBR get to restart with a roll ball. Hannah Crisp takes play over the 10-metre line, and here comes Finley Lockhart, one of the key young Scottish playmakers for BBR. Here comes another turn of pace. Eddie Sandron now sets things up. Finley Lockhart.
Oh, and see, then they go short. Oh, good touch though from Amsterdam, middle there, number 66.
Will Lawrence there just getting touched on his way down. Who's managed to rack up the miles in the Far East recently. Apparently very adept with the chopsticks. But here comes Amsterdam. And it's Arco Hoendert. And just to show how everybody's developing, this is only his second official touch tournament, but he's a rugby union international for Netherlands. He's experienced getting caps to his name. He's a 7s and 15s international for the Netherlands.
Oh, that's quite impressive. Hopefully he can take some of his skills and transfer it to touch now. Oh, the flick pass there. Unfortunately goes to ground.
And Hannah Crisp as well as a Scotland 7s international at rugby for the BBR's player. So having cross-code and you see rugby league internationals as well, having grown up in this sport.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's touch is something that really sets up, you know, there's commonalities across all codes of rugby.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and there's a lot of transferable skills you can take. I mean, touch teaches you lots to do with sort of speed and agility and the ball handling skills, and, you know, that's applicable to all kinds of ball sports there. So it's great to see it becoming more and more popular now.
And your own, as we see, BBR extend the lead again through Matt Michel. Roger Neighbours gives that, and of course your own Lois Lau, who's a tag rugby international as well.
Yeah, she went in the World Cup for tag last year, and then this year for the Touch World Cup. So, you know, she's had some great experiences.
And BBR taking control of this one. It's only 3 minutes gone in the second half, but it's going to be increasingly difficult to see Amsterdam coming back from this. But given that it's, you know, that you've got 5 pool games before everything's decided for tomorrow, you know, it's, and points difference, or sorry, try difference starts counting for a lot. You're not going to really stop trying, are you?
No, definitely. Oh, they might have one here. Oh, what a dive. BBR winger there makes a great touch.
Alex Povell, who's recently transitioned from 15s, and another Netherlands international player. Taking diving tips from Denny Solomona by the looks of it. But BBR, Gareth Revel, starts from deep, winds himself up, makes some good meters. Matt Michel. Miriam Evans gets the ball off the deck to Mark Knight. Back inside to Revel. Knight off the deck to Ali Hogg. Kelly Pearl gets the ball off the deck, try score in the first half.
Scoop through here. Good to go long.
Finley Lockhart.
Oh.
Miriam Evans just on the just gets touched, diving on the inside. Something that we've been talking about in their previous games is just they just look to get the ball wide early. I mean, in terms of, do you just because you know that they're going to do that, and also what they're trying to achieve with that to try and create space in the middle. How difficult is it to, or what gets said on the sideline to stop them happening?
Yeah, I mean, we know they're going to do it, and they have the skills to get it wide. So I think as kind of girl links and wingers, you just need to trust your boys that they'll cover your inside, and you just have to motor to the wing and try and cover across that and chase out. But it does make it very tiring when they're kind of pulling you from direction to direction. Ooh, I think we just had a juggle there from Ali.
Rare mistake there from Ali Hogg. Hands the possession back to Amsterdam.
Look at these rainbow leggings number 5 is wearing.
That's proper 80s throwback. Early 90s throwback. I wonder if he's got a shell suit in the cupboard as well. Regardless, here come Amsterdam over the halfway line. Bas Powell.
We've got drop ball again now.
Just as they were starting to motor, it's the error count really that's proven that it's a combination of error count and also maybe just the inability to break down the BBR defence is proving to be the key differences between the two teams.
Yeah, I mean, there's still only, like, 3 tries out, so I'd like to see them kind of just compose themselves a little bit more, get through their sets, play a bit of field position and not turn it over just easily for BBR like that, because you can't afford to keep giving them chances.
Gareth Revel and Mark Knight, 2 of the elder statesmen of the BBR stalwarts. Knight goes for the dive, just gets touched on the way down, says referee Roger Neighbours, and he's on the field making the decision this time. It hasn't been for a couple of others because the referees interchange as much as the players, operating very much as a crew of 3.
Oh, ball just goes astray there a little bit. That's good defence by Amsterdam not to concede another one there.
Just coming up over the next hour or so, we've got at 2 o'clock we've got RCL Touch, who are in the same pool. They're coming up against Hot Custard. That's at 2 o'clock, followed at 2:30 by Naomi Fernett and her Eagles crew are staying on field 1. They're playing 6-pack Roosters from Edinburgh.
Yeah, that'll be a big game, I think, for us. There's a lot of Scottish players in there that will, be very well versed in mixed touch. So that's the one we're looking forward to the most.
As Amsterdam go close with Daniel Guinness and then Lindsay Schrader. That's the Scotland finished 3rd in the World Cup in the mixed open, and they have brought a team, as you say, that the Roosters are absolutely stacked with mixed open internationals. You guys have got a lot of, dare I say, senior age grade international experience. How are you going to combat that and maybe say, is age and treachery going to come out on top against youth and exuberance?
Age and pundit there, but age-old kind of dilemma of is it experience versus youth. So, hopefully the old heads can kind of get together, and I always see the BBR winger go in here for a nice score. But yeah, it should be a good match, and we're looking forward to it.
Miriam Evans extends BBR's lead to 4 with 4.5 minutes to play here in this round-robin match. It was a fantastic, I saw them play just the once in Malaysia against England mixed open, and that was a fantastic game, which England, with a very young and inexperienced team up against a very experienced Scottish mixed open team who are the European champions. But just in terms of for home nations and British touch, for them to finish 3rd was a fantastic result for everybody, really.
Oh yeah, no, they did everyone proud, definitely, and it's the first time I think any kind of UK or European nations got even close to the medal prize there. So they're a great team, and they really do train hard in their mixed team, and it's their focus.
Anthony Smith goes over for Amsterdam 2nd. But also, just as far as that's concerned, Australia and New Zealand finished 1st and 2nd, and then Scotland finished 3rd, but then Wales were 5th and England 6th. So very much, the UK dominating that second tier of touch behind the Aussies and the Kiwis.
Yeah, I think we knew realistically we weren't going to get close to sort of 1st or 2nd, so 3rd was really to play for there. So our game against Scotland was a tight one, and then our playoff game against Wales also was only 1 try in it in the end. So yeah, our England mixed team did really well, but I think everyone was sort of vying for that next level down, as you say.
But also in terms of the Euros, there were, I think, 8 debutants, and then another 9 debutants in Malaysia.
Yes, myself included. Yeah, it was a very new team, but we all gelled really well, and it's all thanks to our coaches. So yeah, we had a very inexperienced kind of young team, but it's great to see the experience they get in a level like that, playing in World Cup. They'll take with them for life. So it's great to see.
So you see Matt Michel cut a great line over the whitewash from a fantastic angle behind the try line, but you almost go into that into those tournaments almost with a nothing to lose attitude, and then just grow through the course of the week.
Yeah, definitely. I think we would probably have been underdogs in that tournament, so it's great to kind of just give it our all and see what happens. We've got nothing to lose, as you say, so why not give them a good run and see what happens.
As Daniel Guinness takes the touch, gets the ball back. Amsterdam really haven't given up, put themselves into good positions, but with 2 minutes to go, that 5 touchdown difference looks very much insurmountable at this stage, as Guinness sets play up, gets the ball off the deck again, showing good skill for a tall man, and then
the winger just needed to be a bit further there, but then good ball though all the same.
Just looking ahead, this time next year will be have just finished the 2020 European Touch Championships and International Series. How exciting is that?
Yeah, it's really exciting. I mean, I think everyone off the back of World Cup this year, is still on quite a bit of a buzz. So to have the Euros now to look forward to and build towards, that's a great goal we're all reaching for now.
And the prospects of facing teams from slightly further afield than just Europe. I mean, is that intimidating or is it exciting?
I mean, I think it's exciting. I think, always it's a bit daunting, I guess, coming up against new opposition that you may not have faced before. But, I think, we relish the chance to play against different teams and learn from them. So I think it can only come with good things.
Last minute to play. Just a reminder of what's coming up here from Maidenhead on the BBC Sport website and app. And if this is the first time where you've been watching Touch, hope you're enjoying what you're seeing at home. Taking a break from some of the other sports which are happening, big weekend of sport here in the UK, but thanks very much for your time. Coming up, we've got RCL Touch from Luxembourg. They're coming up against Hot Custard. That's in just 4 or 5 minutes time, followed by Roosters against CSSC London Eagles at 2:30. After that, we've got a further 6 games before we round off today's action at 6 o'clock, and then we'll be back on air from 8:15 tomorrow morning with the finals happening between 2:30 and 4 o'clock. BBR safely home with this one, but it's going to be a matter of wanting to keep the points difference going, especially because they haven't played Hot Custard yet, and those two had a fantastic game in Oxford a couple of weeks ago. Just how much should we be all looking forward to that?
Oh, that'll be a great rematch between the two of them. I think Hot Custard surprised a few people there by coming over the top of BBR, so let's see if they can continue their momentum. But another score here just on the buzzer for BBR, which will help their try difference.
Congratulations to BBR for that win, and fair play to Amsterdam. They never stop trying. Thanks very much to Naomi Finnett for her time. Good luck for the rest of the day, the rest of the weekend with the CSSC London Eagles. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes' time with RCL Touch against Hot Custard. Don't go away.
So here we go, back underway here in Maidenhead, the European Touch Club Championships 2019. And we get our first look at RCL Touch. They are from Luxembourg in Luxembourg City. And we'll be taking our Hot Custard, our second opportunity to look at Hot Custard. As the English side looking to drive forward, looking to get the first score of the game, and they do straight away. What a start. Jake Hogan going over the line, big presence in the middle of this Hot Custard side. And a tumble roll to match as well. Hot Custard lead by 1-0 after the opening minute. A great start. And RCL Touch looking to try and hit back straight away. The blue and white stripes of RCL Touch. RCL established in 2011, based in Luxembourg City. And the game has grown and grown and grown in Luxembourg, and RCL have grown as well. They've developed and they're building a good side here in Europe. It's set up to be another intriguing game. See how they get on. Here's Hot Custard once again, laying it off on just that final pass. Just couldn't be met on that far side. Shane Scott, he had a pivotal role in that first game. We saw here on pitch number 1 as they took on Hurricanes. And RCL looking to try and respond straight away. Looking to try and get back into this, the Luxembourg side. And delighted to say that I am joined for the 7th game of the day by Hannah Crisp from BVR. Hannah, how are you doing? You're right.
I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well. It's been a fantastic day so far.
Yeah.
And how do you feel your side's got on? How do you feel you're playing? And of course, happy with the results so far?
Yeah, I would use profanity, but I'll resist. Not the best we've ever played, to say the least. We've got through by the skin of our teeth in quite a few cases, but yeah, we're doing all right. We've got a couple of wins, so that's good.
How did the team sort of feel going into the weekend? Were they feeling confident of doing, really progressing well in the tournament?
Yeah, I'm hoping so. I think we had obviously a really good season with NTS, so just hope we can bring some of that to this weekend as well. Everyone's just really excited to see each other again. We all travel quite far, so yeah, it's good.
I've heard you came down from Scotland this morning.
Yes, I did.
An early flight.
6 a.m. flight, so I was up at 4:30. Yeah,
wow.
That was nice.
And straight on first game as well.
I know.
No messing about against Hurricanes this morning. And
arrived nice and early and had a wee nap. There's a sofa that's
yeah, I've seen a couple of the players taking a power nap, I think, before the start of today's play.
I was one of those.
And so Hot Custard taking on RCL Touch from Luxembourg. Hot Custard, of course, you've come up against in the National Touch Series. A good side.
They are a very good side, and they're both in our pool as well. So we play Luxembourg next and then Custard last. So it'll be a tough game, I'm sure, both of them. But yeah, it's good to play against a team that's quick and steppy, and a couple of ringers in there. Just keep things fresh.
And here come Hot Custard looking to try and add a second to the score. Hogan got over the score over the goal line to get the first score of the day. Here's Sam Jones is in the middle. Here's Hogan again going for the line. 6 touch.
Couldn't quite hold on to it, I don't think. I don't know if that was a ball down or a touch, but either way.
No score either way. And just looking at the weekend, it must be quite exciting playing sides from around Europe. Obviously a bit different, compared to the National Touch Series here.
Yeah, it's great. It's one of my favourite things about Touch is when it starts to get international teams in, and because there was no Euros this year, there's a lot of people we haven't seen for a while, old pals that you see again, which is really nice to play against yeah, some teams you don't normally play against, which is good.
And of course, you're coming up against different styles and different
Very
tactics.
different styles,
How do you combat that? How do you sort of go about playing these? Obviously, likes of Hot Custard and London Eagles are here this weekend. Of course, you know them pretty well, but you know sides like RCL Touch and all these other sides. What's
so
it like?
we had Hurricanes first up, which is the French team, and they always throw some crazy stuff in there. But I think we need to be quite disciplined, stick to your policy, which caught us off guard this morning. I think that's why we had such a tough game. But it's just so much more exciting to play against stuff you're not expecting. Something a bit different.
And Hogan looking to go in again, and he does get the second score of the afternoon. And high fives all around Hot Custard, making their mark early on. Now we have a look on the replay, and Hogan just weaving his way through. Simple as that.
A bit too easy.
Not much preventing.
The defender
from
lost
going
the line there.
And
I had a classic earlier where I just ran straight off the field into the sub box. Didn't realise there was a sideline.
Well, we've seen only on a few occasions, because obviously the markings of the pitch it can be sometimes quite hard to read, and of course you're getting used to a pitch. You know, it's and of course talking to some players compared to playing on grass and the AstroTurf pitch. What's that like? Is that a bit different?
Scratchy. It's not nice to dive on at all. No, it's fine. It makes for a really quick game because there's no like drag from the field. But yeah, it makes diving a lot less enjoyable.
And speaking of dives, a dive for that corner.
For the score, made it.
And they
go
did.
off rubbing his leg probably in some pain.
And RCL Touch have their first of the afternoon here against Hot Custard.
Dive. Nice and low.
Solid dive. And Hot Custard just having their lead reduced only to 1. And if you're just joining us this afternoon, halfway through these pool stage games here in Maidenhead, the European Touch Club Championships 2019. 18 clubs all around Europe competing here this weekend. It is. It's very exciting to see all these sides coming together.
I'm glad this has happened because there's something completely different about club touch compared to international touch. It's because you play with each other week in, week out at a club, which you don't get in international because obviously you're in a camp setup. But yeah, it makes for a good tournament. Hope it continues.
And it must be exciting as a player to, obviously see all this coverage now getting more and more advanced. And
definitely.
And we've got the Junior Touch Championships, of course, live on BBC and England Touch as well in all this same month. So lots happening. Yeah,
loads of touch going on, and it's great to get that coverage because people that don't normally watch touch get to watch touch, and it's just so much more accessible when it's streamed this way. So it's good for the sport.
It certainly is. It's a brilliant sport at that as well, and anyone can join. That's the beauty of it.
And you will definitely find your place. There's all touch teams everywhere, and I can honestly say I've met. This is going to sound really corny, but some of the best, like my best friends now, people I've met playing touch. Good social side, mixed sports, always fun.
And according to a couple of the players, Hot Custard are one of the top social sides. They like to say.
They like to help themselves to a few custards.
And coming in again, Hot Custard. Was Chris Arnold, a bit of a key player in this Hot Custard side. Jake Hogan trying to get the ball out wide.
So another set of 6 for Custard on the line. That's pretty dangerous.
Certainly is. These are the opportunities to really strike just before entering that period, just before half time as well. Will be very important. Chris Arnold again. Here's Hogan. Looking to go out wide. Oh, good covering defence. She sort of came out of nowhere.
Yeah, very good D.
She was just hiding behind. It was Kendall Fry on this left-hand side. Just a conversation with the referees. We're not sure what's
happening here.
Looks like it's ended up in a turnover possession. It has.
Not sure how. Has she got walking boots on?
Yeah, they certainly look like heavy, sturdy boots, don't they?
I've never seen anyone play touch in walking boots before. Maybe it's a Luxembourg thing.
And a turnover. This is another really good opportunity of Hot Custard. Hogan now looking to come forward. Somerville's there. There's Chris Arnold. Somerville picks it up again. Back into Hogan. Oh, and there's
another loss of the line there.
Yeah, just not getting to grips, are they, RCL,
No.
with their line? They seem to be just getting deeper and deeper and just getting pushed back. And Hogan just sort of can't believe his luck as he's just gone in for his hat-trick inside this first half.
It was him last time as well, just walked in, I think. Just put the ball down, keep going. Oh. He had to check as well. He looked towards the side.
I don't think he could quite believe it.
Missed the line.
I've just noticed that the RCL player just there, it feels like you shouldn't be really trying to turn your back. Is that something you work on, obviously?
Yeah, absolutely. When
facing
you're
play.
defending, it's so important that you run backwards and face forwards. Yes. I know that sounds pretty self-explanatory, but it's when you're tired, especially and close to the line, it's quite hard to do. But yeah, really important that you stay facing play so you can see where you are.
I think that sort of caused that loss of control, and there, well, there we go, another loss of control there as they tried to come forward, and just a few mistakes creeping in now for RCL, and I'm sure they'll have a bit of a word about it at the break. Yep. Here come Hot Custard.
It's deceptively hot out there as well. You can't really tell from the video, but it is warm, muggy, really, really muggy.
Yeah, it's
sweaty game.
You can't quite see from the camera, but it's overcast, but it is, isn't it? It's very almost
very,
humid,
very
muggy, isn't it? Yeah, it certainly is.
I feel like I'm back in Malaysia.
We were talking to Sam Missin. We were talking to. He was saying he felt like mini Malaysia almost.
Yeah.
And as soon as he got a sprint on, and we know Sam Missin can
open up those legs,
he certainly can, and he said he was sweating every time he went through. 10 seconds remaining then of this first half. Hot Custard in total control at the moment. Can they add a fifth to the board? There goes the hooter. Oh, and it looks like it's going to open up, and it does. But what does the referee think? He's going to confirm it, looks like. There, Cuthbertson.
5-1 at the half.
Well, a superb half for Hot Custard, although not helped by some simple mistakes and errors, would you say, by RCL in that first half?
Yeah, I think so. They're not making it easy for themselves, kind of giving Custard a lot of opportunities at their line, and if they can tighten up their handling, it'll help them a lot, and the roll ball. So yeah, we'll see what they come out with second half.
So at the break here in Maidenhead for the European Touch Club Championships 2019, Hot Custard lead RCL Touch of Luxembourg by 5 points to 1.
Penalty is as a result of an act of cheating, be it a forward pass.
Yeah, it's forward there, mate. Forward pass there.
A heavy touch. Rolling the ball forward of the mark that you had touched.
You're gonna be with me. Here's your fifth. That's off the mark.
Being offside.
Yes, 7. You're going to be on the scoreline at the touch. Scoreline! Nope, she's not made it. Okay. Need both feet on the line, please.
And also, disrespecting the referee.
So we are joined by Alex Powell from Amsterdam, and Chris is down there to have a chat with him.
Thanks, Brad. Alex, how tough was that game against BBR first off?
It was, well, we started off well. We got the first try, but after that they picked it up, and it was pretty tough. I think we ended up 7-2 in the end, losing. So, but it was good intensity.
In terms of the Amsterdam guys coming over for the weekend, and why are you here? I mean, how much is it as a club development? Is it to see what else is happening? Is it a combination of all of the above?
Well, you always want to play at the highest level and push yourself as a team and get better. So, when we got the opportunity to come here, we obviously jumped on it.
As far as your own playing history is concerned, you're a multi-code international, both with the Netherlands with touch, but also at 15s. What's the key? If there's a key difference between the two codes, what would it be? Apart from the physicality, obviously.
I think the intensity in touch is just a lot more in a short period of time, whereas in 15s, obviously, you can make a hit and then you can rest when there's a scrum or when the ruck's going on. So it's a lot more intense in short period.
And you had a team over in the Netherlands, well over in Malaysia for the World Cup, and and teams at the European Championships as well. You know, how much is this sport growing in the Netherlands?
It's definitely growing. Every year a couple of new clubs seem to be popping up, so it's going well.
And just a quick one about RCL Touch from Luxembourg as well, and Belgium have a national team. You know, it's one of those sports which is growing in the Low Countries as a whole. You know, what do you guys approach this almost as a collective, or is there a healthy rivalry?
I think there's a healthy rivalry, so we're definitely not a collective with Luxembourg.
Alex, thanks very much for your time. Good luck for the rest of the week, and Brad, back up to you for the second half of this game.
So we are back underway in this second half here in Maidenhead as RCL Touch taking on Hot Custard. Hot Custard leading by 5 points to 1 at the break, and Hot Custard looking to try and get off the mark straight away in the second half, looking to rub a sub move, getting some fresh legs on. And here comes Chris Arnold looking to his left. He gets it back into the centre. And some space opening up. Chris Hogan, Jake Hogan, I should say. And here comes Hogan once again, bursting forward. And again, he can't believe his luck, I don't think. He's had a couple like that in the first half, and he just adds another.
Seems to be putting zero effort in, he's just finding holes.
Just weaving his way through, and that was as easy as you like. And Sam Jones has probably one of the easiest assists you could probably get as well.
Yep, no, I think you're right. For a team like this, when they chuck the ball around so much, it really throws defences off, and I think you just get that pass away and you're through. You find holes that you don't expect to be there.
And it's interesting, probably on the other foot for these European sides, it must be a completely different playing. Of course, coming over here and playing these English sides who've been involved in a fantastic national touch series as well. Absolutely,
yeah, and I think the structures, as we said before, like I know it's strange for us playing against European teams, but the same goes the other way. And there's a lot of stuff that they won't expect coming from us. So yeah, I think it's interesting to see how everyone else reacts to different styles of play, but it makes for a good tournament.
It certainly does. So we were speaking to a couple of the Donnybrook players actually earlier on, and they were saying that the chance to come over here and play the English sides is just such a good opportunity.
I think if you're saying that Custard are a social team, Donnybrook take it to another level. They run the Donnybrook draft, which is another tournament. Yeah. Can we get this one in? Ooh.
Looking for the support. Oh, there we go. And as easy as that, they had another one. And I was looking for that support. I was just toying with this RCL defence. And as easy as that, they go through.
Rummy in the far wing.
And 9 minutes remaining, and Hot Custard advancing into a commanding lead.
Yeah, starting to make it a bit more of a comfortable gap for them.
So, of course, in Group A, Hot Custard, RCL Touch, Amsterdam, San Roque, yourselves, of course, and Hurricanes.
Yes, I'm just watching, picking up a few tips for later.
I see Hannah just scribbling them down.
Yep, making my notes. Coach, sign me up, I got it.
And here come RCL looking to try and add on the board. Just a quick sharp play in the middle, just slowing things down. I haven't really had much of a chance in this game so far. I've not seen much of them, and looking to try and go out wide.
Yeah, not many chances up on the line. I think Custard just chucked the ball around quite a lot, and they're not really sure how to manage that on the field.
And Hot Custard now the opportunity from their back line. Let's have a look at this RCL defence. They've kept a high line, trying to put the pressure out of the pitch, although they're making up some really good yards. Hot Custard. And this is really good movement. Chris Arnold now back into the centre to find Jones. Jones with Hogan there as well. Oh, and easily going through. And again,
no one's really sure about these lines. Everyone keeps checking before they put the ball down.
Alice Somerville just strolls through. She's it's almost like they're going through and they're just, where is everyone?
Where am I going? Yeah, I think maybe the defence just aren't committing, so they're kind of hedging their bets on each player, and it's just ending up in no man's land from both sides. Yeah. And
on my notes, we get a stat pack every time we get
got
one of
any
these. And
interesting-
Alice Somerville, apparently the Ford Fiesta of touch, reliable, drives well, and as a former US college swimmer as well.
Well,
And
excels in wet weather,
which
that's
I'm
a
sure
shame.
came into handy in Manchester a couple of
Yeah.
about a month ago when it was a bit of a monsoon.
Not so helpful here, where it's, well, I suppose it's sticky. Not quite the same as torrential rain, but
Yeah, we certainly had it all in that National Touch series. In Oxford, we had that basking sunshine.
Yeah, that
where it
was
around
glorious. It was a great
30,
weekend.
38 degrees, I think it reached at one point.
Yeah.
And then we had the total opposite up in Salford in Manchester.
Yeah.
Where it was, let's just say, typical
Manchester.
Typical Manchester weather, northwest.
Yeah.
That rain coming in from the Atlantic.
Yeah.
And here come Hot Custard again. So over the halfway line they come, driving forward. Sam Jones in the thick of it once again. Here's Alice Somerville just laying it off to Angus Goff and just looking for
Leah's
some
gonna
options.
run on, not get the ball. We have.
And there she gets it back to Angus Goff. Just pick up. Weaving inside and out. You do look at that RCL defence and they're just sort of caught in between, aren't they?
Yeah,
Not
they're
too
hedging their bets and not. They need to commit. I think if they can get that initial commitment to a defensive player or attacking player, I should say, as a defender, you cut off a lot more of their options. But yeah, I think the stuttering and Custard are very good taking their opportunities when they come. So yeah, I think maybe I'll work on for them for the next game, which is against us. So maybe I won't tell them.
Yeah, keep that hidden away in a little notebook. And here come RCL again. So just sort of playing for pride now. Let's see if they can try and add some points on the board, give them a bit of confidence.
Yeah, 5 minutes to go.
These games, they just fly by, don't they? 12 minutes a half compared to the 20 minutes, of course, in the Touch series that we've had.
It really does feel different as well. I keep thinking it's still the first half and then we're just about to finish the whole game, so it's really strange.
It really does fly by.
Because it's essentially the whole game is one half of touch, which is, yeah,
There's
very
Sam.
different. You've got to play a different style of game. You've got to go really hard right from the get-go because you've got no time for... Oh, sniper. Yeah, you've got no time for slow play or take...
Sam Missing was saying that they talked about before coming into the weekend that they can't get behind early doors.
Yeah,
You've got
no.
to really attack the line as soon as you've got a chance. Have they got through there? Just waiting for the referee's confirmation. I think they have.
Oh, wow.
And they're delighted with that one, RCL. They've worked that one actually really nicely. They've, to be fair to RCL, when they've tried to come
nice
forward,
scores,
they have. They've been really patient, haven't they? And they've really
That's
tried
a
to
good
work
dive
it.
as well. Lady with the walking boots.
Yeah, the moon boots. And
I might get myself a pair. Maybe I can dive like that too.
and she dances her way towards the try line. And with 4 minutes remaining, I think the game is long gone, but it's still gives them just that little bit of a boost going into the rest of the day.
Yeah.
And here comes Sam Jones looking to try and get his side into double figures. Chris Arnold now looks to go left.
Yeah, Custard are defending quite hard here, which is, I mean, obviously it's good for them, but I think they're struggling to attack against it when he's done the same as me, he just runs straight off the side of the field. That sideline is really, really hard to see when you're playing on it, actually.
Yeah, it's difficult from our camera position, actually. The far side goal line, it can be, we've seen a couple of times players have run actually too far.
Too far, yeah.
Because all the pitches are different, aren't they, in terms of the scoring zones. It
Yep.
can be a little bit deeper, a bit shorter.
Yeah, and this is a really short dead ball, so on the other side of the scoreline you've got a dead ball where the half tends to run, and this dead ball is really short, so if you scoot through, got to find a pass quickly.
And Kendall Fry going over, and they do have their 10th of the game. And an interesting little story from Kendall Fry. Moved to England from Queensland on a whim after losing a bet over a few drinks one evening. That's
that is good commitment.
one incredible story. Kendall Fry coming over, and
you've got to admire that commitment and dedication.
Fantastic.
Made a bet, I'm going to stick to it.
It's a long way to come.
I know, just for a bet. I mean, she's
And-
still here, so
well,
she must have found it all right.
Absolutely. And here come RCL Touch. Just just dying in front of her actually when she tried to pick up that pass there, and Hot Custard looking to come forward now.
Shane's just going to run.
Oh, look at that little hop, skip and a jump, as I like to say. Just going one way then the next. A lovely arcing run.
Yep.
He's a crucial player, isn't he? Shane,
yeah.
Shane Scott in this Hot Custard side.
Normally seen in a Galaxy shirt.
Of course, of course.
But yeah, I think he's helping out here, which is helping the team out and giving them some extra feet. Steppy feet, quick feet.
And Hot Custard go over again. It was Jamie Ironside.
It's a lovely play from Custard. And just really good timing with their bottle, the passing and offloading.
And Jamie Ironside's another one coming from London Galaxy as well, making the step up to Hot Custard. So we're into the final minute. RCL, can they just finish on a high? Can they try and add
let's get one more. Go on. Oh. Sideline pitch is going to kill him again.
It's very hard to notice, isn't it?
Very hard to see, Normally as well, they normally have cones on either side of the sub box, so you can actually see where you're, like a gate where you're trying to get through. But there isn't one this time, and I think that's throwing quite a lot of people off.
Good defensive pressure from Hot Custard there. Weep just putting off their opposition. And Hot Custard now coming from the back. Into the final few seconds, waiting for that infamous hooter, and there it is. Hot Custard driving forward. Oh, lovely flick back. This is superb from Hot Custard, going from the centre to the right-hand side.
Oh, made it.
Touch just agonising. You almost see the fingertips just touching the back of Jake Hogan. And that brings an end to the game. Hot Custard running out convincing winners by 11 points to 2 over RCL Touch from Luxembourg. Hannah, thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you for having me. Always a pleasure.
Commentary box, and very good luck. Your next game, is it RCL Touch?
It is, yeah.
Next one up.
We've got one more off, and then we're playing them. So we'll see how we go.
Absolutely. So that brings an end to that one, and we'll be back on in a couple of moments' time as we get our first look at Roosters here on pitch number 1, taking on CSSC London Eagles. That'll be our next game here at the European Touch Club Championships 2019.
Bring the house!
So back underway here in Maidenhead, the European Club Touch Championships 2019. So Six-Pack Roosters taking on CSSC London Eagles. And our first look at Six-Pack Roosters this afternoon, taking on London Chargers. And first attack here from the Roosters, looking to drive forward but staying put and looking for an opening, looking to go left and go through the centre, looking to dive forward, and it's a great dive in, Grace Burton. But not on this occasion, so it remains scoreless. And looking to go out wide. Is this an opportunity for the Roosters going in? And yes, it looks like they've got their first score on the board. Six-Pack Roosters underway, and they've got a strong start against the London Eagles. Let's have another look at this on the replay as it moves from right to left over to that far side. Shona Campbell, a very talented individual in many sports. And Campbell goes through for the first score of the afternoon. And here come London Chargers. Once again, here's Richard King back into the middle to Lois Lau, and Dyer is there, waiting for that opportunity to run at this Six-Pack defence. Weaving, jinking in and out. Here's King back into the middle to Lois Lau. Can she sprinkle a little magic? Naomi Fernett. Fernett gets it out wide. Oh, and just can't be picked up. Rosalind Charleston. And here come Six-Pack Roosters. A lovely turn of pace there. Moving forward, and it was Marshall McLeod. Started playing touch whilst he was in school in Scotland, playing for the Scotland side at the 2014 Euros, and so packed full of talent, this Six-Pack Roosters side. Oh, and a brilliant, well-executed move. But not on this occasion. And having another look at this one. Wines. Oh, just that pass slightly forward. The referee just bringing it back, so it only remains the one score. Shona Campbell. Made her way through the junior touch sides and found herself in a senior setup. Talented individual. And now here come the London Eagles. Chris Wall involved. Oh, he just fizzed it out to that far side where Rachel Atkins was there waiting in the wings, but she couldn't cling on. And Chris Wall always involved in all the big moments for the London Chargers, looking to respond. And here come Six-Pack Roosters on the halfway. Alan Clepane involved, and here comes McLeod. McLeod getting it back to Clepane, looking to go out wide, and it was just forward, and it died in front of Shona Campbell. But again, running that move and looking to go to Campbell on that left-hand side seems to be the option at the moment for Six-Pack. Chris Walden now laying it off, and he gets it back again. Bit of tempo to this move. Claire Waddle now involved, and she just lays it off. Waddle gets it back. Chris Wall is there to pick it up. The turnover possession just in front of the London Chargers subs box. And here come six-pack Roosters. Just outside the 10-metre mark, just working an angle. Dyer gets the touch in, but here's a chance in to come. Oh, and it was lovely play. Alan Clepane involved. And it was finished off by Hannah Smith. Clepane just jinked his body to the left and found Hannah Smith, who came through, and an easy finish as she found the gap. And six-pack Roosters have roared into a 3-0 lead. Naomi Fairnett now, as the Chargers looking to chase the game. Here's King. What can he do? He's obviously a back right. King gets it back to Chris Wall. Oh, and a lack of communication. This is unrare. This is rare for this London Eagles side. Roosters playing really well, compact and attacking well. Alan Clepane. Clepane getting it back into the middle. A nice move, Charlie Brett. Charlie Brett, normally of Wigan, and he's representing Roosters. Scottish international. Normally Charlie Brett and Lewis Burns linking up for Wigan, Brett and Burns show. But Charlie Brett going in on the line, diving in and gets it again. He's a tricky player in the centre, and he looked to go left and goes right and goes to the line. And six-pack Roosters have a fourth on the board, and they are well in control at the moment, as the wind just slightly picking up here. It's a fairly warm and muggy day here in Maidenhead. That wind will be just cooling the players down a tad. Can London Eagles respond as the six-pack Roosters have the wind in their sails at the moment? Here's Lois Lau looking to go left and lays it off and over to this near side. Just can't cling on. Here's Rosalind Charleston, who was there with Sean Atkins as well involved, but a good opportunity now for the London Eagles. Here is Lewis Lau, always at the heart of everything that's good for London Eagles. Lois Lau, Andrew Dyer now looking to go to his right. Always likes to dive for the line, does Andrew Dyer, and if he can get into the position, he will go for it. Andrew Dyer. Lois Lau laying it off, getting out wide and just spilt at the line. Charlie Brett, and now over the 10-metre mark they go. Lovely intensity to their player. Alan Clepane now going forward. A touch from Andrew Dyer. Look at this for a move. Here's Marshall McLeod. McLeod looking out to this near side wing to Gladding. Still the opportunity though for six-pack Roosters. And there's ball spread over to that far side, and lovely footwork from Shona Campbell. Does she get it? No. But it was good work from Shona Campbell as the ball spread from right to left in very quick time as well. And this first time in a long time I've seen this London Chargers team put on some real pressure. Here's Andrew Dyer over the 10-metre mark. Rosalind Charleston, Chris Wall now laying it off. Michaels. Wines, looking long. Oh, Waddle just can't cling on, and you can just see that grimace in her face as the ball just slipped through her hand. She had to go up high to collect it, but couldn't on that occasion. McLeod now pinging the ball over to that far side, running a sub move to get some fresh legs on, and here's McLeod again driving forward over the halfway line. Lovely move from the six-pack Roosters again, a really well organised, oiled machine at the moment. On just that final pickup, Charlie Brett. He just wasn't happy with the pickup, the referee, and we're into the final few moments. We'll be waiting for that hooter. Here's Chris Wall, deep in his own half, and there goes the hooter, and there goes the touch. And there comes a close to a fantastic first half for the six-pack Roosters over the London Chargers. And CSSC London Eagles, I should say, sorry, have a lot to do in this second half if they're going to turn this around. So at the break, six-pack Roosters lead CSSC London Eagles by 4 points to 0.
Touch is made up of 3 positions on the field. You've got a wing, a link and a mid. That is replicated on the other side of the pitch, so you have 2 sets of each.
So here we go, back underway here in Maidenhead. The European Touch Club Championships 2019. Six-pack Roosters taking on CSSC London Eagles. And here come the Eagles, looking to try and drive for the line. Lois Lau now with Dan Wines. Dan Wines was there, but didn't pick up the ball. And now Lois Lau just has to retreat back to the 5-metre line. She's just tiptoeing her way back and waiting for the opportunity to pounce. Dan Wines gets it back to Lois Lau, looking for this near side corner. Can she just weave her way through? Rosalind Chaston was there. Chaston represented the South East Sharks Mixed Opens at this year's Nationals. So she started off at Oxford Touch and worked her way into this CSSC setup, like many of the players in this London Eagles side. Nice move here, and this is Marshall McLeod looking to work his way through on just that final pass to find Alan Kleppane. just falls at his feet and he just can't cling on.
No, stay down.
Oh, fantastic take. That was from Rosalind Chaston, who just caught it behind her head almost and did well to hang on. Claire Waddle advancing forward. Chris Wall over the 10-metre mark, doing well to just weave in and out. Andrew Dyer now. Andrew Dyer trying to find a route through but can't do. And the London Eagles really need to get a score on the board. They are well behind this game at the moment. On the halfway line they come. Charlie Brett, nice. Charlie Brett doing well, and now laying it off in again, and it was Smith, Hannah Smith, who waltzed through, and Six-Pack Roosters have another one on the board, leading by 6 points to 0. They are in total control against London Chargers, and if you've been following our coverage, or did follow our coverage on the London Eagles, and by 6 points down. Lois Lau into the middle. Try and get this next point on the board. London Eagles looking to come forward. Evan Michaels now with Lois Lau in the middle. Richard King's just to the left. King looking to get that touch. He does get the touch and looking to force the ball out wide. Back inside. Richard King switching it back into the middle. Patient build up. Evan Michaels in the middle. Lois Lau can't pick up the ball from the ground, and the CSSC losing out, and Six-Pack Roosters just look alive. They look full of energy. Charlie Brett just jinking into the right and doing well, and he comes off now to get some new faces on. Over the 10-metre mark they go. And now here's Marshall McLeod doing well, and Alan Clepane going in for the line along with Marshall McLeod, and that's another one. And Six-Pack Roosters are putting the London Eagles to the sword at the moment. Seven and a half minutes remaining. Now, I don't think CSSC London Eagles have sure what's hit them. If you are following our Belief Elite National Touch series, they are in fine form in most of the weekends. A consistent side. Here's Naomi Furnett. Dan Wines for the Eagles. Looking to go left. Claire Waddle back inside to Wines. Now it's Chris Wall, short, sharp passing from left to right. Almost a bit like hot potato passing on the 5-metre line, back inside. Lovely take from Naomi Furnett, who finds Wines again. Good pressure though from Six-Pack Roosters. Marshall McLeod doing most of the work in the middle. Good build up. Furnett getting it back into Dan Wines, and a pass out to that far side from London Eagles as finds no one. London Eagles have another opportunity now. On the edge of the 5-metre mark is Claire Waddle looking to go for the line, trying to create space herself. An important touch though from Alan Clepane. Dan Wines. There is Chris Wall. All marking this CSSC side. Always trying to promote and push the club along. Had 3 sides in total in the Believe Elite National Touch Series involved, men's and women's sides as well. Here's Naomi Fernert looking to jink left and goes right and tries to force her way through, but referee gives it after some consultation, and London Eagles have a score on the board finally with 5 minutes remaining. Naomi Fernert going through. Grace Burton just couldn't get the correct touch in. 5 minutes remaining. And here come six-pack Roosters. They just go again, don't they? Here's Charlie Brett. Gets it back, number 11. Nice, just quick 1-2s inside, and nice link up there with Hannah Smith. She's got a score to her name in this match so far. Charlie Brett just being forced forward. And that ball out wide, and look at all the space that's opened up for Frankie Alcock on this near side. All the time in the world. Being a regular in the Scotland Open teams in the women's 27 side. And six-pack Roosters add an 8th to the board with 4 minutes remaining until the full time. And London Eagles looking to come forward now. Can they just get a bit of momentum going into their next game? Here's Chris Wall over the 10-metre mark, picked up and gets it back and goes to the line with a dramatic dive, and he does get in just about. Just waiting his confirmation from the referee. And I'm delighted to say for the final couple of minutes, joined by Greg Cropper, and six-pack Roosters really have put the London Eagles to the sword.
They have, yeah. They've got a few of the BBR players in this team as well from over the season, back at their home club. But yeah, they're a very well-drilled team. And like you said, you can see that the scoreline is reflecting that as well.
Yeah, you look at that six-pack side, likes of Charlie Brett, of course. He's a key player, isn't he, normally?
He is a regular in that elite NCS side that has been doing so well this season.
And here come six-pack Roosters looking to try and add a 9th. Here's Claire Payne. Stopped on the line. Naomi Fernert's there alongside Andrew Dyer to the right of her. Marshall McLeod back inside. Claire Payne McLeod gets it back and goes left and spreads the ball out wide. A lovely take back inside. Oh, this is superb play from six-pack Roosters, but that final touch before the line stops any score from happening. Shona Campbell.
Lois Lau just making that crucial touch on the line. Here comes Fernert driving down at halfway on second touch. Claire Woodall, Rich King, Chris Wall picking up. Instrumental in this team. Still as half, just looking for. That was a great transition from those. It looks like they just dropped the ball over the line there. The referee's just conferring. Yeah, ball was dropped unfortunately. Just couldn't find someone to pass to. So six-pack now driving off their line.
That was a lovely run from Chris Wall through the middle. Burst his way through, but yeah, that final pass looking for the support just died on his fellow teammate. And here comes six-pack Roosters coming forward over the halfway line. They come. Charlie Brett back into the centre now. Quick, incisive passing from the six-pack Roosters, who have had a superb outing. And looking to go wide again. Oh, superb pass out wide, and there is Shona Campbell. And she adds another one to her personal tally, and she's had a fine game herself.
Just a good vision here. Long ball. Clinical. Good finish. And with only less than a minute to go now, with a deficit of 7, it's all done by the shouting for the London team.
Lewis Lau now weaving inside and just handing responsibility. Jason Waddle now, and back into the centre, Michaels, and Dyer is there. Lewis Lau gets the ball back. Oh, and this is quick, incisive play, trying to get through, but it's too quick for their own good. There's under 20 seconds remaining.
Yeah, a late pass was given as well, so it's a penalty there for the six-pack team.
There goes the hooter. Charlie Brett switching the ball over to this near side.
They've got a penalty on the line and they're going to run it as well.
Why not, with a couple of final phase of play, and there goes that touch, and that brings an end.
You're never sure what someone's going to do though. Like 7 points down, is it worth trying something funny? And you're like, you know what, we've been running around here for 25 minutes, let's just shake hands and let's call it a day for this one.
Well, a superb victory for the six-pack Roosters against CSSC London Eagles, a comprehensive victory at that as well. And we'll now move on to our next game of the day, which will see Buffaloes taking on the